plan on flying? In order to board domestic flights, your driver's license or state-issued ID must be a real ID. Learn how to get your real ID today at tsa.gov/real ID or visit your local DMV.
We're shipping Mother's Day gifts with a rapid-fire round of questions. Ready?
Yes, my gift. Can you pack it?
Yep.
Ship it?
Yes.
Guarantee it?
Of course.
Oh, send gift baskets?
For sure.
Protect electronics? Dog-proof it? Return it if they hate it?
Yes, no, and yeah.
Are you the UPS store?
Hey, we have a winner!
Woo!
Visit the upsstore.com/guarantee for full details. Most locations are independently owned. Product services, prices, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Visit a store today.
Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter-Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Drama on this Saturday with episodes of the Lux Radio Theater from the middle of the U.S. involvement in World War II, May 3rd, 1943, 82 years ago. An adaptation of the motion picture The Navy Comes Through, starring Pat O'Brien. We'll also have an episode of Suspense, The Giant of Thermopylae, starring Frank Lovejoy from 1954. We will also have an episode of, what is it? We got, Nightwatch, a real-life cops show. And by real life, I mean really. It was cops before cops became a thing on television. And Gangbusters. That will be with us also during this hour. And that'll be what we have today on this. This is what? This is a Saturday. Yes. It is Saturday, 123rd day of 2025, 242 days left in the year. Christopher Columbus's first sights land on this date in 1494. That would be called Jamaica. The Great Fire of 1901 began in Jacksonville, Florida on this date. And it was on this date in 1937, Gone with the Wind, a novel by Margaret Mitchell, won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction.
You go. Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Vivian Leigh and Clark Gable in the 1940 screen adaptation of the novel, which was published won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction on this date in 1937. Less than a month after the novel was published, Mitchell got $50,000 for the movie rights. Now, you have to understand, that's $1.1 million today, so that was a good chunk of money. 1948, playwright Tennessee Williams won a Pulitzer Prize for A Streetcar Named Desire. It was adapted to a movie in 1941.
Hey, Stella!
Yep, Marlon Brando. Author James Michener also won a Pulitzer Prize in 1948 for Tales of the South Pacific. The Senate Armed Services and Foreign Relations Committee, on this date in 1951, began their closed-door hearings into the dismissal of General Douglas MacArthur by President Truman. In 1957, Walter O'Malley, the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers, agreed to move the team from Brooklyn to Los Angeles. And there was much hatred for O'Malley in Brooklyn. The first Grammy Awards announced on this date in 1959. I got to give O'Malley a little credit on that, because quite frankly, you had 4 ball clubs at the time in the Big Apple, and that was too many. By making the move from Brooklyn, it lessened the load, but it sure didn't stem the people not liking O'Malley. The off-Broadway musical The Fantastics opened in New York City's Greenwich Village on this date in 1960. It would eventually become the longest-running musical of all time. Wonderful music in that, most especially Try to Remember. Ed Ames had a wonderful hit with that. The Sears Tower in Chicago topped out on this date in 1973 as the world's tallest building. Of course, it has since been massively surpassed. In Great Britain, the Conservative Party won the general election, making Margaret Thatcher Britain's first ever woman prime minister.
Very excited, very aware of the responsibilities. Her Majesty, the Queen, has asked me to form a new administration, and I have accepted. It is, of course, the greatest honor that can come to any citizen in a democracy.
Mrs. Thatcher arrived at Downing Street to take over from James Callaghan after her party won an overall majority of 43 seats. In NASA's first post-Challenger launch, an unmanned Delta rocket lost power shortly after liftoff on this date in 1986, forcing safety officials to destroy it by remote control.
Everything appears to be quite normal up through about 71 seconds. And at about 71 seconds, the main engine, the liquid stage engine, and the vernier engines shut down.
NASA's Bill Russell briefing reporters. And it was on this date in 2006, Zacharias Moussaoui sentenced to life in prison in Alexandria, Virginia, in connection with the September 11 attacks. Passing away on this date in history, Terry and the Pirates and Steve Canyon cartoonist Milton Caniff. Captain Wally Schirra, the astronaut. Also, actor, TV director, producer, executive Jackie Cooper. Lloyd Price, 'cause she's got personality. And a man who flew around the world, Dick Rutan. He co-piloted the Voyager aircraft on the first non-stop, non-refueled around-the-world flight with co-pilot Jenna Yeager. And I've seen him on the Carson Show. It runs every so often on the Carson Channel, his appearance there. Number of musicians born on this date in history, including Bing Crosby, Pete Seeger, also David Dudley, the 6 days on the road and I'm going to make it home tonight, and James Brown, all born on this date. Israeli Prime Minister Golda Meir, radio pioneer Norman Corwin, born on this date. He lived to be 101 years of age and still very respected. Did some great work. Pro wrestler trainer Stu Hart, the father of Owen and Bret Hart. Also, Sugar Ray Robinson, the boxer. Alice on the Brady Bunch, Ann B. Davis. You remember Ronco and the Pocket Fisherman and all of that sort of stuff? Ron Popeil, he was born on this date in history, along with magician Doug Henning, all celebrating birthdays on the 3rd day of May.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
Speaking of singers born on this date, the Four Seasons, Frankie Valli, 91 years old today. Christopher Cross, Salen, 74 years old today. Amy Hill, the actress, is 72.
You're going to talk to him?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Well, tell him I'm sorry, right? I mean, he knows me. Just tell him I apologize.
That's from the picture Gone Baby Gone, Amy Hill, 72. Not related to Dule Hill from West Wing and Psych. He is 50 years old today.
I don't mind you not respecting people. I mind you doing it out loud.
That's fair. Dule Hill is 50 years old today. From Mad Men, Christina Hendricks, also 50 years old. Country singer Eric Church is 48. And actress-singer, she was the star of the 2021 West Side Story remake. Rachel Zegler is 24. Those just a few of the people celebrating the 3rd day of May as their birthday. And if this is your birthday...
Hi, we're the Four Freshmen, and we just want to say... Happy birthday to you!
Now on this Saturday Classic Radio Theater, we have an episode of the Lux Radio Theater going back 82 years to May 3rd, 1943, and Pat O'Brien starring in the adaptation of The Navy Comes Through.
Valspar Ultra starts at just $29.98 a gallon. So we've got you covered when your daughter wants to paint her room again, after last year's masterpiece of a unicorn mural.
Dad, please.
Or when you realize that maybe you went too hard on the grayish.
I miss color.
Or when you were sure you wanted a home gym, but your elliptical is currently hanging your laundry.
What about a home office?
Shop everything you need for your next phase with Valspar. Available at Lowe's. Price varies by Shein.
Civil defense is common sense. Hi, this is Tony Bennett. Make sure you're prepared if a nuclear attack ever comes.
Boy Scout motto says it all. Be prepared for everything. All right, the first portion now of the Lux Radio Theater presentation of The Navy Comes Through, starring Pat O'Brien. This goes back 82 years to May 3rd, 1943.
Lux presents Hollywood. The Lux Radio Theater brings you Pat O'Brien, George Murphy, and Ruth Hussey in The Navy Comes Through. And as our special guest this evening, Lieutenant Francis Rich of the Waves. Ladies and gentlemen, your producer, Mr. Cecil B. DeMille.
Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. The lifeline of the United Nations is a string of plodding ships that carry the weapons of war across the brilliant blue of the Pacific and through the murky fog of the North Atlantic. The ships of the merchant marine. A torpedo strikes, and a gallant vessel may go down, but the submarine that murdered her may die too, because the merchant marine has fangs of its own. And tonight's play, The Navy Comes Through, is the story of the deadly stingers on those merchant ships, the Navy gun crews, who strike back at the wolf packs of the sea. RKO made the picture, and tonight we have Pat O'Brien and George Murphy from the original cast, co-starring with the lovely Ruth Hussey. Pat O'Brien has just finished Bombardier at RKO. George Murphy's current assignment is Bataan at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. And Ruth Hussey has just starred in Tennessee Johnson at the same studio. Like the real trooper she is, Ruth stepped into the breach at the last minute to take Joan Bennett's place this evening. As you probably read in today's newspaper, Joan's house burned down last night. She had a rather narrow escape, and the doctor has ordered her to stay in bed for a few days. A lot of activity goes on behind the scenes here in the Lux Radio Theater before one of these productions is ready for the microphone. First, we must secure the right stars, the kind we have tonight. And then comes hour after hour of rehearsal. But the power behind all that activity is you. You make all these plays possible by buying Lux Flakes. And you can't lose because our product has proved its worth. And as a bonus, your whole family has reserved seats in the Lux Radio Theater. We always hope for a favorable verdict on our plays. We know we'll get one on Lux Flakes. And here's the curtain for the first act of The Navy Comes Through, starring George Murphy as Tom Sands, Ruth Hussey as Myra Mallory, and Pat O'Brien as Mike Mallory. Like huge black ghosts, they slip from their moorings in the dead of night and turn their bows to the open sea. Slowly they move, wallowing deep in the heavy waves. For these are the ships of the merchant marine, and their great bellies are swollen with the instruments of war. Food for the people of the world, and food for the guns of the United Nations. Here below are stored tanks and planes, shells and bombs, oil and TNT, while above on the decks pace the men of the United States Navy, watchdogs of the convoy, scanning the dark sea for the telltale ripple of the U-boat's periscope. They're short on gold braid, these men who sail with the merchant marine, but they're long on courage. For pacing the decks, they walk on dynamite. One of these men is Michael Mallory, Chief Gunner's Mate, United States Navy.
I guess it's all right to tell this story. Nowadays, you can pick up a newspaper and read stuff like it most every day. You know, convoy reported attacked, a U-boat reported sunk in North Atlantic, stuff like that. Well, the fellas I work with are the fellas who do the reporting and the fighting, so we know it from the inside. However, the beginning of the story you'd find only in the Navy records. That was back in September 1940, down in Washington, D.C. I was in Washington at the time. The Navy Court of Inquiry was in session, and they called me as a witness. The Court of Inquiry, that's just like a civil court, only the judge and the jury down there in the United States Navy.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name, rate, and station.
Michael Mallory, Chief Gunner's Mate, Temporary Duty, Navy Department.
You were on duty aboard the USS Bayonne on April 9th, 1940, when a gun exploded in the forward turret?
Yes, sir.
You inspected this particular gun prior to the target practice, which led to the explosion?
I examined the gun at 10:20 a.m., 2 hours and 40 minutes before target practice.
Was it in good condition?
No, sir. I found the salvo latch improperly assembled.
To whom did you report this?
The assistant gunnery officer.
Who was that officer?
Lieutenant Thomas Sands, sir.
Did Mr. Sands have the salvo latch repaired?
I don't know, sir. He said he'd attend to it, but the explosion occurred on the first salvo.
Confine your testimony to the facts, Mallory, and avoid conclusions.
Aye, aye, sir.
Mr. Sands, do you have any questions?
No questions, sir. Very good, Mallory. That's all.
Aye, aye, sir.
Lieutenant Sands, will you take the stand? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. State your name, rank, and station.
Thomas L. Sands, Lieutenant, United States Navy, Temporary Duty, Navy Department, sir.
You were assistant gunnery officer on the ship in question at the time mentioned?
I was, sir.
Did Chief Gunner's Mate Mallory report to you the condition of the salvo latch on one of the guns in the forward turret?
Yes, sir.
What action did you take?
I ordered the turret captain to repair the salvo latch, sir.
Did he do so?
Yes, sir. I supervised the repairs personally.
Then how do you account for the fact that this particular gun backfired on the first salvo, causing an explosion in the turret?
I can't account for it, sir.
Is there anyone who can corroborate your statement that you had that salvo latch repaired?
No, sir.
Why not?
The men who repaired it are dead.
Yep, that was it. They were dead. 3 of my friends were dead because somebody made a mistake. The trial didn't last long. They don't like mistakes in the Navy. When it was over, there was a girl waiting for Sands out in the corridor. Her name was Myra. Myra Mallory. My sister.
Myra, you shouldn't have come here.
What happened? What did they say in there?
Well, I'm resigning my commission, Myra.
You can't. It's your whole life, Tom.
Well, there wasn't any way to clear myself, so there's nothing else for me to do.
But it wasn't your fault.
No, but it was my responsibility, and in the Navy, that's the only thing that counts.
Tom, what are you going to do?
Well, I don't know exactly yet, but there's one thing I'm sure of. I'm going to get as far away from the Navy as possible.
And what about us, Tom? You and me?
Well, Myra, I'm afraid any future we might have had blew up with that gun turret.
You mean your career blew up? I didn't fall in love with a commission. I'm not in the Navy. I'm just a nurse who fell in love with a patient. There's no gold braid on a hospital nightgown.
I know, Myra.
Tom, why did this happen to you?
You'd better ask your brother that.
I can answer it, too.
Yes, I guess you can.
Tom, wait.
Goodbye, Myra.
I want to talk to you. Tom!
No, let him go. He's got a lot to think over.
I hope you're satisfied, Mike. If you hadn't testified against him, he wouldn't have had to resign.
Now, look, honey, I'd have had to testify against him if he were our own father. Strictly routine.
You never did have any use for him, did you?
All right, I didn't. I didn't like him the first time I saw him. I liked him less when he started hanging around with you.
I know. The old Navy man's prejudice against the enlisted man's sister and the commissioned officer.
No, the old Navy man's prejudice against seeing friends dragged out of a turret because some two-striper didn't do his job.
He did his job.
Oh, come on, sis. Let's not fight over it. It's finished. There's nothing we can do about it. Forget him, honey.
I'll never forget him.
Well, you might as well. You're not going to be seeing him again.
Why not?
Because he's busted. He's out of a job. And who's going to give him one?
Oh, Mike. Mike, it isn't fair.
Oh, come on, darling. I didn't mean to hurt you. Honest, I didn't. Come on. But it's the truth. Come on, dear, buck up. Here's a handkerchief. Come on, blow. Well, like I said, that was in 1940. Right after that, I was sent to the training station in Newport. I was there that Sunday afternoon in December 1941. I remember the president saying, a date that will live in infamy. But all I could think of was a line of beautiful ships burning and sinking and the men I know who went down with them. I called Myra a couple of nights later to say goodbye. I had my orders already, and she'd had hers, too. She'd enlisted with the Naval Reserve as a nurse.
Company! Hold! At ease, men. Well, you guys have been yelling for action. Now you're gonna get it. You've drawn a man who also likes plenty of action. Chief Gunner's Mate Mallory. Company! Attention! Here's your gun crew, Mallory.
Thanks, Bud. All right, at ease. All right, you men are to report to me at Pier 7, Brooklyn. 11:30 tomorrow night. You got that? All right, let's get some names here. Come on, I'll talk up.
Berenger.
Chapter.
Judson. Kono.
Sand.
Bayless.
All right, hold it. Never mind it now. I'll get him at the pier. You're at liberty until then. Dismissed.
All right.
Hey, Sands.
Yeah?
Just a minute.
You want me?
Yeah. How'd you get here, Sands?
There happens to be a war going on, so I enlisted.
It's fine. You got the whole Navy to pick from. Why'd you have to show up in my outfit?
Oh, it's just a little matter of obeying orders.
Well, take a tip from me and apply for a transfer.
Look, Mallory, if you don't want me in your gun crew, it's up to you to get rid of me. That's Navy regulations.
Okay, sailor. I'll see you at Pier 7. If it's Navy regulations you want, you're gonna get them. I had a good bunch of boys, raring to go. I guess maybe they were hoping for a destroyer, but we drew the Sybil Gray. She was a freighter, small, slow, a little on the rough side. When I was getting the boys aboard that night, they were pretty sad about the whole deal.
Bayless reporting.
Bayless, get aboard next.
Berenger, Chief. Say, we ain't really sailing on this thing, are we?
This is your ship, fella.
You call this a ship? Ain't fit to be a garbage scow.
What'd you expect, a yacht?
Well, I figured we rated a cruiser at least.
You're reserving those for sailors. Hey, wait a minute, you. You see those boxes they're loading?
Yeah?
What's it say on them?
U.S. Air Corps, ammunition 50 caliber. Hey!
Yeah, hey. Well, that's some of the garbage the scow was carrying. Now, get aboard. Next.
Go now.
Get aboard.
Come on, Dutch.
Please, not Dutch. How many times have I asked you?
Well, you're German, ain't you?
I'm not German. I'm American.
Okay, Dutch.
Please.
Get aboard. Next.
Dutson, sir.
Never mind this, sir. What's that you're carrying there?
Oh, well, that's my radio set. Is it all right?
Yes, I guess so. Get aboard.
Oh, Chief, my mother came down and that is...
Okay. You can stay on the pier for 5 minutes.
Oh, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Go ahead, sailor.
Mike.
Well, for the love of...
Hello, Mike.
Hello, sis. I thought we said our goodbyes on the phone.
So did I, but I got my orders. I'm shoving off in the morning myself. I wouldn't be surprised if we showed up in the same convoy.
Oh, yeah? Oh, well, fine. I'll wave to you. So long, kid.
Mike, you wouldn't be trying to get rid of me, would you?
No, but I gotta get on board.
Mike, are you expecting a blonde?
Oh, me? No.
Oh, it's all right, Mike. I know why you're in such a hurry.
What?
Tom! Tom Sands! Tom!
Hello, Myra.
Tom, where have you been all these months? Why didn't you write to me?
Well, this new outfit's keeping me kind of busy.
You reporting for duty?
Sands, Seaman 2nd, reporting, sir.
Get aboard, sailor.
Aye, aye, sir. Well, so long, Myra.
Goodbye, Tom. Mike, why didn't you tell me?
I told you to forget him, didn't I?
You still hate him, don't you?
Well, I don't love him, that's a cinch.
I do, Mike. The Navy gave him the benefit of the doubt. They let him resign and accepted his enlistment. If they can give him a break, you can.
He gets the same break as anyone else, no more, no less.
It took a lot of courage for him to enlist as a seaman.
Or a lot of gall. The men on that turret were my shipmates. One of them was the best friend I ever had. Bye, Myra.
Goodbye, Mike.
Hey, you guys, how do we divvy up these bunks? Take any one you want, Sampson. Only that one's mine, see?
Anyone here when we are sailing?
Oh, sure, I got it definite. We sail when and if. When they finish loading this and if the engines wake on this tub.
Hey, Dustin, what's that contraption you're rigging up?
That's a radio. Short wave.
That thing ain't gonna wake on ship's current.
Oh, no? I took care of that. A compensating rheostat for the change in voltage.
You fix it yourself, Dudson?
Fix it? I built it. I've been a radio bug ever since I was a kid.
You should have applied for a radio rating. You would be a petty officer.
Thanks. But I've got my sights on a commission.
Hey, speaking of commissions, this guy Sands we got with us, he used to be a lieutenant. Only the Navy kicked him out.
What for?
Oh, nothing much. Just letting a bunch of guys get knocked off on a turret on the Bayonne.
An ex-officer. I don't think I envy him.
Yeah, from all I hear, he's got a nerve to even show his face around here. Well, I heard that he was
You've
in...
got awful good hearing, haven't you, sailor?
Yeah. Hello, Sands. Just talking about you.
Something nice, I hope?
Nope. As a matter of fact, it stunk.
Thanks.
Well, is it okay with you, Admiral, or do you want to make something out of it?
Oh, I guess you've got a right to talk.
Yeah, but you ain't giving it to me, sailor. Don't get that idea. And get your gear off that bunk.
Why?
Because it's my bunk.
My gear was in there an hour ago.
Yeah? Well, it's out of there starting right now. Now, do you want to make something out of that?
I guess I have to, don't I?
Oh, I don't know. But even a rat will stand up and fight when he's cornered.
All right, Berger.
Oh, come on, you guys. Cut it out.
What goes on, and I cut it out, will you? Do you hear me? Cut it out. What's the matter here?
Oh, just a little argument over who gets this bunk.
Who had his gear in there first?
Well, Sands did, but I tossed it out.
Well, toss it back in again. Now, I want to tell you something, and this goes for all of you. All the fighting on this ship will be done topside. Everybody understand that?
Yes, sir. We understand.
Okay, we're shoving off any minute. Now, I know you're all disappointed you're not on a battle wagon. But this is the hand they dealt us, and we're going to play it out.
Oh, we ain't kicking, Chief. The only thing is, well, supposing you're out with your sweetie pie and she wants to see your ship. You got to point out this floating pile of junk.
So what?
So you tell her, look, honey, that's where I live. So she says, go home, sailor. Go home and burn your clothes. A guy likes a ship he can be proud of.
That's so? Well, there's a gun up on deck you can be proud of, and get this. Aft here and above and below, and as far as that gun can toss him, it's all Navy. Forward and midships, it's merchant marine, and don't sell those guys short either. It's their job to get this ship across, and it's our job to keep the heinies out of the hair while they're doing it. Now fall in on the gun deck, on the double! Sometime that night, along about 12 o'clock, we slipped out of Brooklyn. Destination, Murmansk.
Hey, Dutson, will you turn off that homemade jukebox? I'm trying to get some sleep.
Can't you get something besides static, kid?
That's not static. That's jumble code.
Jungle code?
No. Jumble code. The words are scrambled.
Scrambled? Like eggs?
Yeah. And I'm trying to unscramble them. Been trying to ever since the war started.
Well, what's it all about?
Well, it's the new way of sending confidential messages. The words are turned back on themselves in the transmitter.
And it comes out double talk.
Sure. But somewhere, some guy is receiving this stuff on a special built unscrambler. And it's coming in nice and clear.
Then somewhere, some guy is talking it straight too, huh?
That's right. As plain as you and me are talking now.
Well, who is it? Where's it coming from?
If I could unscramble it, I'd know. Maybe a base on shore. Maybe a German sub.
Now, there's a cheerful little earful. Go to sleep.
Sands?
Yes, sir?
You can go below. I'll take over the watch.
Aye, sir.
Just a minute, Sands. Now, look, fella, I don't know who started that argument down there, see, and I don't care. But I want to tell you something for your own good. If you want to get along with those men, be one of them.
I'll hold up my end.
Forget the officer and gentleman stuff, see?
Since you brought it up, Mallory, I'll tell you something for your good. In the Navy, you're not an officer because you're a gentleman. You're a gentleman because you're an officer. And you're an officer because you can do any dirty job of work better than any enlisted man on the ship.
That's so. Who told you that, sailor?
Pretty fair sailor by the name of John Paul Jones. Did you ever hear of him?
Shore Base 526. Shore Base 526. The American freighter sails from New York. Tonight, midnight. Cargo, ammunition. Armament, 1 4-inch naval gun and crew. Registered tonnage, 8,000. Registered speed, 12 knots. U-boat 604 calling. U-boat 604. We have your message. Standing by for Sybil Gray.
It's funny how you know sometimes. You're on watch, maybe just at dawn, and you've got your eyes glued to the water. And as far as you see, there's nothing but whitecaps. But just the same, you know, there's something out there. Your fingers itch to grab the speaking tube and yell, "Battle stations!" But you hold off. They need their sleep down there. And then brought off the port bow, there's a ripple you don't like. And there it is again, and now she breaks water. She's a submarine and looking right into her gun. Battle station! Battle station! Battle station!
In a moment, Mr. DeMille presents Act Two of The Navy Comes Through, starring Pat O'Brien, Ruth Hussey, and George Murphy. Now, Libby Collins has a story for us.
It's something I read in a newspaper the other day. Perhaps you saw it, too, about a girl who had taken a job in an airplane factory. Her work had to do with one small part of the engine, and she was finding it rather dull, until she found out what that one small part was used for. Without it, the whole engine was useless. Well, that made me stop and think. Isn't it just as true that those of us who are doing our war jobs at home can do them better when we know the reason for them? When we really understand the need for saving. Even doing without some things, well, we don't mind it nearly as much. For instance, did you know it takes the nylon that would go into 186 pairs of stockings to make one medium aircraft tire? Well, Uncle Sam needs aircraft tires a lot more than we need new nylon stockings. We'll get along on what we have, plus a few new rayons and cottons, and do very nicely, thank you.
And if you'll take the right kind of care of the stockings you have, you can get along nicely a whole lot longer. Lux them after every wearing. It's been proved, you know, that luxing cuts stocking runs in half. The United States Testing Company, Incorporated, made a whole series of tests on rayon stockings. They washed them over and over in different ways, then tested them on a machine that pulls and strains them the way you do when you wear them. Stockings washed with new, improved Lux Flakes kept so much more of their elasticity, they didn't go into runs nearly as quickly as those rubbed with cake soap or washed with a strong soap. Results showed luxing cut down runs over 50%.
Well, that sounds as though it would pay all of us to stick to Lux Flakes.
It does pay, Libby, for all your stockings. Nightly Lux Care cuts way down on runs in silk, nylon, and cotton, as well as in rayon. Be sure to let rayons dry thoroughly. Rayon is temporarily weak when it's wet, you know, and doesn't regain its strength until it's dry all the way through. So don't wear your rayon stockings till 24 to 48 hours after you've luxed them. Get a big box of new, improved Lux tomorrow. You'll find it in the same blue package you know so well. But it's the new Lux, the safest, mildest Lux ever made, to help you save not only stockings, but all your washables.
From 82 years ago, May 3rd, 1943, the Lux Radio Theater here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Part 2 in a moment.
Civil defense is common sense. This is Fred McMurray. Home shelters can be built for as little as $100. Simple plans for building inexpensive home shelters are available free from your Civil Defense office. Ask for a copy of the Family Fallout Shelter booklet.
Now we continue with the second part of the Lux Radio Theater production of The Navy Comes Through, starring Edmund O'Brien and Ruth Hussey, going back 82 years, May 3rd, 1943.
Now, our producer, Mr. DeMille.
Act 2 of The Navy Comes Through, starring Ruth Hussey as Myra Mallory, Pat O'Brien as Mike Mallory, and George Murphy as Tom Sands. One 4-inch naval gun and 10 men who don't know when to quit. This is the fighting equipment of a convoy freighter. Now the 4-inch gun is blasting away at the steel hide of a German U-boat.
Range 300, scale 50.
Range 300, scale 50.
Ready, set, fire! All right, boys. Don't get excited. Now, don't get excited.
Come on, raise that dirty heinies.
Get on that gun. Ready, set, fire! Up 25, scale 5-1.
Bayless is hit. He's hit
Kroner,
bad.
take over for Bayless. Up 25, scale 5-1.
Up 25, scale 5-1.
Bayless. Hey, Bayless.
Doesn't get back to your station.
But he'll bleed to death.
Let him bleed. Get on that gun.
Ready,
set, fire!
He won't let me help him. The guy'll die.
Easy, kid, easy. Mallory's right. This isn't football, you know. There's no timeout for injury.
Ready, set, fire!
Hey, Chief, they're quitting. Look, they're crash diving.
All right, hold your fire, men.
Yahoo! They're running. Oh, we sure knocked that heiny out of the box.
Yeah, you couldn't even hit an umpire with a pop bottle. Get a load of who's really pitching. It's one of our destroyers over there off the bow.
Hey, they're dishing us out of that sub. Just when we was getting in the groove.
Yeah, one more minute, we could have had them.
Don't be handing yourselves any bouquets. If those destroyers hadn't come up, you'd all be shark bait by now. Why? Because you weren't good enough in the pinch, that's why. The only one who acted like he knew what it was all about was Sands here. As for the rest of you, to put it mildly, well, I can't put it mildly. What about Bayless?
I don't know. They just took him below.
Oh, Mallory. The captain wants to see you. Seems that boy of yours was hurt pretty bad.
There was nothing much we could do for Bayless. He had a shell fragment in him down deep. It was a job for a surgeon, and that night we signaled another boat in the convoy. When the surgeon came over the rail in the morning, he had a Navy nurse with him.
Hiya, sailor.
Well, I might have known you'd show up.
I had to come, Mike.
Why?
Well, it might have been you who was hurt.
Yeah, it might have been him, too.
Yes, it might have been him.
Miss Mallory.
Coming, sir. I'll be seeing you, Mike.
Now, don't crowd, boys. Don't crowd.
Hey, Chief, who's the doll? Say, she was beautiful, huh? Hey, what's the quickest way to get sick?
Now, pipe down, you guys. I seen her first.
Yes, and it's the last time you'll see her on this ship.
Oh, Chief, how about her? She's just my type.
Well, for your information, she's my sister.
Anybody like to play game pinochle?
All right, get up on the gun deck. We're having a drill. Sands.
Yes?
Change your station. It's below in the magazine.
Till after the medical party leaves, is that
Yep,
it?
till after the medical party leaves.
Mr. Mallory. Commander Murray's instructions. Order the boat to return to the hospital ship.
For what reason?
We can't operate unless this ship lays to. The convoy's proceeding. We're remaining aboard the Sybil Grey.
Sybil Grey was on her own for the next few days, about 6 hours behind the convoy. And then early one night, the captain ordered her engines stop. We lay to, drifting in the fog.
Silence all ship's bells. No talking. I want absolute quiet.
Mike,
You better get below, Myra.
why have we stopped?
Shh. You know where your lifeboat station is?
Yes. What's happened?
How's Bayless?
He's all right. The doctor's with him. Tell me what's going on.
Well, there's a German raider kicking around out there someplace. We can't take any chances. Come on now. Go on back to your cabin.
Mike, is this serious?
Well, if he spots us, he'll blast us right out of the water.
Thanks, Mike.
Wait a minute. Where are you going?
You know where I'm going. To Tom.
Myra, what about Joe O'Connor? Is he out of your life completely?
I don't love Joe O'Connor. I've got to see Tom.
Now look, sis, he has a job to do. So have you.
We may both be dead in 5 minutes. You can't stop me, Mike. You're the whole U.S. Navy.
Well, all right. Wait here. You always were a stubborn little mick. Sands? Yes. Come here. Myra's down at the rail near her cabin. She wants to see you.
Is this in line of duty?
In a way, yes. Now look, I'm going to tell you something. In case we get out of this alive. There's a fellow back in New York by the name of Joe O'Connor, and he wants to marry Myra. He can give her everything you can't. The only thing that stands between them is you.
I guess you've made that clear enough, Mr. Mallory.
Tom, how much longer do we have to wait like this?
Can't tell. Maybe all night. We can't move till we know where that raider is.
Tom, put your arm around me.
Huh?
Please.
All right.
I'm not afraid if we're together. Are you?
Myra, if anything should happen, remember, get clear of the ship.
Do you love me, Tom?
Listen.
I said, do you love me?
Quiet. Do you hear it?
Is that a German raider?
Yes, it must be.
Coming right toward us.
Shh, don't talk. Don't even move. Hang on tight, kiddo.
Tom, they passed us.
miss us by much.
No. They might as well kill me as scare me to death.
Well, Myra, I guess we better get back to our jobs.
I've always felt my job was kind of looking after you.
I've got to get back on watch now.
Tom, what is it? Still pride?
No, Myra, not exactly.
Well, there must be some reason.
There is. You see, when I was on the West Coast, I met a girl.
Oh. Thank you for letting me make such a fool of myself. Good night, Tom.
Back to your watch, Sands.
Yes, sir. Oh, Mallory, you can stop worrying. The opinion that I'm a heel is now unanimous.
There are times when a convoy trip is like a 10-day pleasure cruise. And then there are times when you run into grief from the night you up anchor. We'd been shot at from below, now they let us have it from the skies. Machine gun stations! Machine gun stations! All right, get on those guns. Get on those guns! Come on! Come on, men!
Myra, get below!
Tom, there's a man hurt here.
You hear what I said? Get below! You can't do anything now!
Just give me a hand with him. If I can get him under the...
Myra, look out! Barringer, take over this gun.
Okay, Admiral.
That girl there, she's pinned under the boom. Keep that gun fired till I get back.
Okay, Admiral. Samter?
Here.
Betson?
Here. Did we do all right, Chief?
You don't see any Heine planes, do you?
No, sir.
Kroner?
Here.
Behringer?
Behringer's over here, Mallory.
Behringer got it pretty bad, Chief.
Just one of us? Where's Sands? Sands!
Sands isn't here.
Well, didn't anybody see him?
I didn't. He wasn't at his gun.
He was supposed to be with Behringer.
He wasn't.
Mallory, you come here a minute.
How is he?
You can see for yourself.
Hey, Chief.
Hiya, Behringer.
Well, I got one of them. Did you see?
Sure I did. Good job, fella.
Yeah. Hey, look. About Sands. I heard you talking.
Well, he wasn't at the gun, was he?
No, I went below. He was...
Easy, son. Don't try to talk.
No, look, he...
Here, Sands.
You want me?
Yes, I did. A little while ago, we could have used you up here.
What's the matter?
You ran out. That's what's the matter.
Wait a minute. Hold it, kid.
Why weren't you at your gun?
Well, Behringer can tell you that. He was Behringer. I'm afraid he can't. He's dead.
What were you going to say, Sands?
Nothing.
You know, Sands, I'd like your alibis better if somebody lived to back them up. I didn't know Myra's been hurt until later. I figured she must have been hit and crawled below where we found her. She was unconscious. But the surgeon said she'd live, and that afternoon we had a service on deck for Behringer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Unto Almighty God we commend the soul of our comrade departed, and we commit his body to the deep, in sure and certain hope of the resurrection unto eternal life to our Lord Jesus Christ, at whose coming in glorious majesty to judge the world, the sea shall give up her dead. Amen.
I tell you, Chief, I did it. I unscrambled the stuff.
What are you talking about? What's it on the radio now?
He's telling you, Chief, it's German scramble talk.
Yeah, but it's coming in clear. They're talking in German right now.
What are they saying? Kroner, can you translate that stuff?
I'm getting it.
12 knots,
wait.
segeln under englischer Flagge.
They're finished.
Well, what is it?
There's a submarine supply ship, latitude 60, longitude 1115.
Supply ship in these waters?
She's flying a British flag. They're carrying torpedoes.
Which way is she proceeding?
Northwest at 12 knots to meet with subs. Recognition signal, Zieg, by blinker.
Look, Chief, if we went after her, we could intercept her by morning.
Yeah.
Let's go, Chief.
We got her.
That's up to the merchant marine. I'll ask the captain.
You mean you'll tell him?
No, I mean I'll ask him.
What's your plan, Mr. Mallory? To sink this supply ship?
No, sir. I'd like to take her over as a prize of war.
I see. Who will sail her?
Well, if you could spare me enough men for a crew.
Well, I could let you have a quartermaster. Skeleton crew, but with my second officer dead, there's no navigator I can give you.
No navigator, huh? All right, I'll take you up on that.
I haven't agreed yet, Mr. Mallory. You realize this is a very dangerous proceeding?
Yes, sir, but taking her over would mean crippling sub-action in these waters for weeks and maybe months.
Look here, Mr. Mallory. I've had 3 ships torpedoed under me already. I've swum in burning oil. I've floated 10 days on a raft. I've starved and I've frozen. And now what are you asking me to do? Go to war?
Yes, sir.
I thought I was over draft age. All right. Mr. Reynolds, change course. Head us southwest.
Southwest it is, sir.
You should have been in the Navy, Captain.
Yeah, looks like I am.
Pause now for station identification. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
82 years ago, May 3rd, 1943, the Lux Radio Theater here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The conclusion follows these important messages.
Civil defense is common sense. This is Joni James. After nuclear attack, what radioactive fallout will be a potential threat to every living thing. You can't hear, or smell, or taste fallout. Often you can't see it, so you must take shelter and stay there until told it's safe to leave.
In the newspapers of that Monday, May 3rd, 1943, President Roosevelt spoke 20 minutes after announcement of a 15-day truce in the coal strike, declared last night coal will be mined no matter what any individual thinks about it, and expressed hope that every man will be at work as the mines resume operation under government control. The president said, tonight this country faces a serious crisis. We're engaged in a war on the successful outcome of which depends the whole full future of our country. All of our massed effort is none too great to meet the demands of this war. John L. Lewis announced last night the 2-week agreement had been made with the government ending the work stoppage in the coal fields pending further negotiations. He said, the Policy Committee of the Mine Workers of America have just agreed by unanimous vote of the members to restore all mines to immediate operations for a period of 15 days beginning on Tuesday. The president, by the way, did not refer to John L. Lewis at all. A number of stories about war, but here's an interesting one. 10 minutes after an all-clear signal was sounded in a New York surprise air raid drill yesterday, an unidentified airplane fired 4 machine gun bullets over Brooklyn. 3 of them shells piercing apartment house roofs, and a 4th landing at a busy street intersection. And the final fight begins today on pay-as-you-go income tax legislation, with Republicans and Democrats championing different proposals. Leaders of both voiced confidence last night as House members streamed back to the Capitol after an Easter recess at home. Meanwhile, new talk of a compromise bill was heard from both sides of the aisle. Much of the other news had to do with the war itself and the prosecution of same, and I will leave that to people who have more information on that than I. I do have some stories about it, but I am going to leave it go at that point. Although I will say it was an interesting story in here, a movie review of Alice Faye's new movie, Hello, Frisco, Hello. So there you go. Let's get back to the final segment here of the Lux Radio Theater from 82 years ago, May 3rd, 1943. The Navy comes through.
After a brief intermission, Mr. DeMille returns with George Murphy, Ruth Hussey, and Pat O'Brien for Act 3 of The Navy Comes Through. Meanwhile, here it is May, and high time you were getting that victory garden of yours planted. Along with your vegetables, plant just as many flowers as you can. That's a suggestion the Department of Agriculture is making to all victory gardeners. For fresh flowers add so much to the beauty of your garden and home and give a welcome lift to the spirits, too. Now, if you haven't sent for your Lux flower seeds, don't delay. The orders are pouring in by the thousands. And no wonder. This offer is a real bargain. 6 big packets of flower seeds for only 10 cents, and the opening tab from a box of Lux Flakes, or the wrapper from a cake of Lux toilet soap. Yes, you get 6 different flower garden favorites for only 1 dime. Long-stemmed Shirley poppies, tall cosmos, giant African marigolds, candy tuft, heavenly blue morning glories, and prize-winning zinnias. You'll have dozens and dozens of plants to fill your garden with color all summer long. Many of them will bloom in window boxes or flower pots, too. They're all first-quality seeds, and every one has been treated with plant hormones to give you bigger, earlier blossoms. They're easy to grow. Simply follow the directions on the back of each packet. Here's how to get your Lux Flower Garden favorites. Take the opening tab from any size box of Lux Flakes, or the wrapper from 1 cake of Lux toilet soap. Mail it with 10 cents in coin, no stamps, please, to Lux Flower Garden, Box 1, New York City. Lux Flower Garden, Box 1, New York City. Be sure to enclose your own name and address, of course. You can get an order blank from your dealer, or just write out your order on a piece of paper. But whatever you do, don't delay. Your seeds should be planted soon, and it may take up to 3 weeks for them to reach you. Remember, for each set of 6 seed packets you order, send 10 cents in coin and either the opening tab from a box of Lux Flakes or the wrapper from a cake of Lux toilet soap to Lux Flower Garden, Box 1, New York City. No stamps, please. This offer expires May 31st and is good only in the United States. Now Mr. DeMille returns to the microphone.
After the play, you'll meet our stars. And you'll also meet a lieutenant in the waves. Now the curtain for the 3rd act of The Navy comes through, starring Pat O'Brien, Ruth Hussey, and George Murphy.
Sighted the supply ship at dawn. Like Kroner had said, she was flying the British flag. That didn't stop us from putting a shot across her bow. 2 more in the same place, and she hove to. The British flag came down, and a white one went up in its place. She'd quit without firing a shot. I didn't like it much. I've learned not to trust the Fritzies. I called the men together and gave them the orders for boarding. Then I went below to say goodbye to Myra. I didn't go in, though. The surgeon told me Sam.
Sit down, Tom. It was nice of you to come. They told me you asked for me.
How are you, Myra?
I guess I'll live. Thanks for getting me down here.
Who told you I did that?
No one. But it couldn't have been anyone else.
Well, look, I wish you'd forget about it.
Forget? Why?
Well, just personal reasons. Just don't mention it, huh?
All right. You're a funny guy, Tom.
Myra, I better say so long now. I'm on duty.
Yes, I know all about it. The surgeon told me. Look, Tom, I just wanted to tell you something before you go. That girl, you know, back on the coast, the one you said...
Myra...
Well, it's all right, Tom. I've been thinking it all over, lying here. You know what I think, Tom?
What?
I think there never was a girl out on the coast.
Myra,
Goodbye, Tom. Good luck.
We boarded the Odin inside an hour.
Make fast! Make fast!
The captain met me as I came over the rail, handing me his revolver.
Well, I can't say I'm pleased to meet you, sir, but we carry a load of high explosives. You caught us by surprise.
That was the idea, Captain.
What are your orders, please?
I'm taking this ship as a prize of war.
I imagine you need the tonnage, thanks to our U-boat campaign. And I suppose you want us to go aboard your ship now?
That's it. Get your men together.
Yes, Tannen. Think so? Girls!
Wait a second, as you were.
Well, Sands, what are you sounding off about?
Well, it just occurred to me that this fellow's in an awful hurry to get himself and his men off this ship.
Well, so what?
Considering we're loaded to the gunnels with torpedoes, I thought it might be a good idea to hold these prisoners aboard just for insurance.
I think maybe you got an idea there, Sands. Captain, stick around for a while, huh? Tell your men they're going to stay aboard.
Very well. Wir müssen noch ein Weilchen hier bleiben.
Now tell them we're going to batten them down in the forward hold and keep them there for the rest of the voyage.
Für den Rest der Fahrt werden Sie in Achterbaum gefangen gehalten.
Nein! Nein!
Himmel, dicken, dringend, Platz zu
All right, Captain, cool off. What's the matter with that man of yours?
Here, you, come on, step out, talk up. What is it? Ask him, Kroner.
Was ist los, Junge?
Das Torpedo ist minert.
He says one of the torpedoes has been set to explode.
All right. Time to take you and Sands to it. Everybody else stay put. Go on, get going.
Come on, you. Well, here it is, Mallory.
Is that the fuse? I never saw one like that.
It's a detonator, the type used in delayed action bombs.
How's it work?
This half here is filled with nitric acid, and this part's filled with fulminate. When you screw them together tight, the acid eats through the lead and hits the fulminate and sets off the explosive.
Are there any more of them?
Yeah, there are more fuses, but this is the only torpedo that was set to go off.
Well, then we can let their crew board the Silver Gray. Take care of it, Santa.
A pleasure, Chief. Okay, you heinies, get over that rail.
You know, Sands, you used your head a while ago, but I want to remind you that I'm still giving the orders around here.
I'm sorry, I forgot myself.
Well, that's okay. Now I got a job for you. I want you to go up on the bridge and navigate us into Belfast.
You mean you want me to take charge of this ship?
That's what I said. Silver Gray couldn't spare a navigator.
Oh, I see. Asking favors, huh?
I'm not asking a favor. I'm giving an order.
That's a pretty strange order for a CPO to be giving a second-class seaman. Seems to me that's over and above the line of duty. That's a job for a volunteer.
All right. Okay, Sands, if it gives you any satisfaction, I'm asking you to volunteer.
I'll volunteer, Mallory, but I refuse to sail her to Belfast.
What do you mean?
This ship is loaded with torpedoes for enemy submarines. I propose we deliver them.
Deliver them?
With one of these fuses in each consignment. Or we can do more damage to the submarine campaign than a whole flotilla of destroyers.
It's my duty to bring this prize into port.
Well, I'll relieve you of that responsibility. I refuse to navigate this ship anywhere except after submarines.
I'm still giving the orders.
Yes, I know. You said that before. Now, what about the crew? Looks like a volunteer job for them, too.
I'll vouch for my crew.
You like the idea, then?
Yeah, I like it. The only thing I don't like about it is that you thought of it. Go on up on the bridge to take over. The Silver Gray shoved off to join the Atlantic Patrol, and then we headed the Odin northwest on the same course she'd been before. With Kroner doing the talking over the radio, we raised every sub for 100 miles around. Then they started flocking toward us. First was due any minute. I had the boys up on deck, giving them some last-minute orders. All right, boys. I've told each and one of you what your job is. Now, don't rely on your own judgment. You're liable to throw a wrench into the works. All right, Dutch, try him out on that Heine talk.
Zu Befehl!
No murder.
It isn't very good, Chief.
No, try that other thing.
All together now. Heil Hitler!
I'll hit him.
Bowie.
Cut it out, Samter.
I don't like that Hitler routine.
Well, you got to do a lot of things you don't like to win a war. Try it again.
All together. Heil Hitler!
I'll hit him.
That isn't very good either.
No, you're not kidding. You know, the more I think of it, the best thing to do is to keep your mouth shut.
Periscope astern.
A periscope.
Hey, Mallory, here comes your first customer.
There she is right behind us. She's coming up.
Get your men set, Mallory. She'll be alongside in a minute.
Go ahead, boys. Get to your post. Kroner, you do the talking.
Don't worry.
Sands, you better go up on the bridge. You know, even with that Heine uniform, that Irish kisser of yours won't fool anybody.
Speaking of Irish kissers, ask the man who owns one.
May I suggest, gentlemen, that neither one of you is exactly the conventional German type.
All right. I'll get below. The sub came alongside, and we loaded her with torpedoes. One of them with a surprise package in it. When she was ready to leave, Kroner stood at the rail giving out with a Heine salute.
Heil Hitler! Heil Hitler!
The sub shoved off. And then about a half a mile, he blew up into a million pieces. 1-0, favor us. That night we scored again. And again. It's like shooting fish in a rain barrel. When we had 7 of them, we ran out of torpedoes. We turned and headed for Belfast. Sands, where are you?
Up here, on the gun deck.
What do you think you're doing?
I was just inspecting this magazine flood system.
Well, you handle the navigation. I'm still running the gun deck.
Well, why don't you run it right, then? That flood valve is frozen.
I'll run it right. Let me at that thing.
Yeah, it is frozen, isn't it? I thought those squareheads were supposed to be so efficient.
Anybody can make a mistake.
Yeah, once.
Oh, Kroner.
Yes?
Check that overflow pipe.
I did.
Is it working?
It's working.
All right. Don't forget to secure that door when you go out. Well, what are you waiting for?
Why are you trying to make the crew hate you more each day?
What the crew thinks about me doesn't make any particular difference.
If you would only make an effort.
Look, Kroner, it's only when you're guilty that you have to make an effort to prove you're innocent. And don't forget to secure that door.
It's getting boring, that's all I say.
Pipe down, Sampler.
Ah, look at us. All that fun with those subs, and now we're sitting around doing nothing. It's getting boring, that's all.
That Nazi who flew over us this morning broke the monotony a little.
So what did he do? Not a thing.
He thought we were German, that's why.
I wonder if he did.
What do you mean, Kroner?
I tried to speak to him on the radio. He wouldn't answer.
What? What? You mean he might have been wise to us?
Who knows?
Periscope of the port bow.
Hey!
Listen, you guys, watch the periscope, will you?
All right, boys, on the job. Get moving. You'll be coming alongside.
But we have no more torpedoes.
You tell him that, Kroner. Get rid of him as quick as you can.
There he is. See him?
Never mind that gab. Get ready to go into your act. Come on.
Mallory.
Yeah, what?
He's changing his course. They're topside men in the gun.
Battle stations! Battle stations! You merchant marine men, get below.
Get below nothing. We want to get in this scrap. Hard at port.
Aye, aye, sir.
Full speed ahead.
Full speed ahead.
Come on, you men. Come on.
Gun crew ready.
All right, let's go. Range 3, scale 5-0.
Range 3, scale 5-0.
Ready.
Set fire! No change, load.
No change, load.
Load ready.
Set fire! No change, load.
Load ready.
Set fire!
Hold it.
Hey, Mallory, there's another customer to starboard.
Okay, I see him. Swing her stern around.
Right, ready.
Set fire! Nice going, boys. Nice going. Keep up that rhythm.
Ready.
Set fire! All right. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Chief! The powder magazine. There's fire in there.
All right, turn on the flood valve.
I can't. It's frozen.
What do you mean it's frozen?
I tell you, Chief, it's frozen.
All right, there's another valve inside the powder magazine. I'll go down and see if that was working.
Wait, Chief. You can't go down
All
there.
All right, take over, Kroner. I'll be right back.
Load ready.
Set fire! The inside of that magazine was thick with smoke. I tried to find the valve, but it flooded the place with water, and then I guess the smoke got me. I couldn't reach the valve. I couldn't even get out of the place. I went down on my knees, choking. Last thing I remember was a fellow coming down the ladder and groping his way toward me through the smoke. He got to the valve and turned it on. He got me out of there, too. Don't ask me how, I wouldn't. The fellow's name was Tom Sands. The boys got those subs. Yep, both of them. When we could finally get our breath again, we lined up on the aft rail to take count of the wounded. The Navy and the Merchant Marine, too.
Hey, you Navy guys. Nice pitching in there.
Nice pitching yourself, Ben. All right, boys, get a load of some real sailors. I guess I knew what I was talking about when I told you not to sell the Merchant Marine short. All right, clear your wounded. Kroner, you were hit, weren't you? Well, you don't have to help.
I'm all right, Chief. I'd like to help.
Okay. Nice going, Dutch.
Oh, I'm not Dutch. I'm an American.
Yep. And I don't think anybody will ever question that fellow. Oh, Sands.
Yes, sir?
Well, you certainly saved my hide. As a matter of fact, all of our hides.
If you'd have done your job right, it wouldn't have been necessary for either one of us to go down to that magazine.
I did my job right.
Board of Inquiry wouldn't think so.
What?
They'd want to know why that valve didn't work.
Well, I could tell them. I fixed it myself yesterday.
Then how do you account for the fact that it wouldn't work when the magazine caught on fire?
Well, I can't account for it.
I had the same trouble once myself in a gun turret. Remember? On the Bayonne?
Yeah, the Bayonne. That's right. Well, I guess if you could take it, so can I.
You won't have to, Mallory. It just happens I know you repaired that valve, and I'm alive to tell him.
Say, wait a minute, sailor. You know, I can't figure how a guy with guts enough to go down in that magazine...
Yeah, I know what it is you want to know. Why I ran away from my gun that day, huh?
That's exactly what I want to know.
Well, why don't you ask your sister?
We were picked up that night by the North Atlantic Patrol, and a month later we were back in the USA in Washington.
The Court of Inquiry is reconvened in the case of Thomas L. Sands.
Oh, they cleared him pretty fast. And when we were both set up to Newport, to go with another outfit.
Hello, Lieutenant.
Hello, Myra.
I came to see you off, Tom. Your gold braid's beautiful.
So are you.
Oh, by the way, that girl out on the coast.
Yeah?
I spoke to her. She married a Marine.
No, oh, fine.
So I guess I can go right on chasing you, can't I?
You want to know something? You won't have to run very fast.
Company, halt! All right, men. Now, you joined the Navy to see action, and you're going to get it. You're going to serve under a man who likes plenty of action. I know because I've seen plenty of it with him. Lieutenant Thomas L. Sands. All right. Column, leave, first!
Not a bad-looking outfit we've got here, Chief.
Yeah, they're all right. They got plenty to learn the hard way.
Oh, you wouldn't admit it if they were perfect.
Of course not. What do you want me to do, spoil them?
Well, they'll learn all right, and a lot more like them. And when they get rolling, they're going to be a tough outfit to stop.
Awful tough.
You know, there was a pretty fair sailor once by the name of John Paul Jones. He said...
Yeah, I know. We've just begun to fight.
Before our stars return to the microphone, listen a minute. This message is for you. In your kitchen, you've got part of what it takes to fire those guns, to drop those bombs on Berlin or Tokyo. Your waste kitchen fats contain glycerin, one of the things needed to make explosives and other materials of war. Now, it's not a romantic job to collect waste kitchen fat, but every bit you turn into your meat dealer is important. Every tablespoonful counts. If you save a tablespoonful a day, it amounts to a pound a month, enough to make nearly 1.5 pounds of smokeless powder. Save every bit of fat. Use what you can, of course. Strain it, reuse it. Only after it's done its job for you should you turn it in for salvage. Then strain it into a clean can. Any kind of a fruit or vegetable or soup can will do. Don't use paper or glass containers because they leak or break. The cans you turn in will be salvaged as well as the fats. When the can is full, take it to your meat dealer promptly. He'll pay you cash for every pound. And within 21 days, that fat will be going into gunpowder or other war materials. Remember, no amount is too small to count. Save every bit and turn it in promptly. This is an everyday war job for every home in America. Now, here's Mr. DeMille with our stars.
The Navy always comes through, and so do players like Ruth Hussey, Pat O'Brien, and George Murphy. It's curtain call time right now.
Thank you, Mr. DeMille. It was a privilege to have a part in this inspiring story of the Navy gun crews.
And it was swell of you, Ruth, to step in at the last minute. You did a grand job.
Well, I was delighted to do it for Joan Bennett and Mr. DeMille and everyone here. I know Joan will be all right in a day or two.
Well, we all hope so, Ruth. Pat, how about a little news on your jaunt overseas? You've seen some of the Navy firsthand while you've been entertaining soldiers and sailors.
Yes, I made the whole trip around the Caribbean by air, CB. Didn't set foot on a boat for the whole 11,000 miles, except for a couple of trips up the river into the jungle. I don't think we missed flying in any crate down there that had wings.
Giving up that trip was a big bit disappointment to me, Pat. I guess I missed some exciting times. Pretty rugged country down there, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and those boys are in some pretty lonely places. We put on 75 shows from Puerto Rico straight on into Dutch Guiana, and I want to do it all over again.
And I'll be with you this time if I don't get out before that, Pat.
George, I've asked a member of a rather new branch of the Navy to come here tonight and tell us something about it. She's the daughter of Irene Rich. She's been a very good friend of mine for some years. But first, let me tell you about next week's play.
What is it to be, Mr. DeMille?
Ruth, it's one of the great love stories the screen has brought us this year. Warner Brothers' distinguished dramatic success, Now Voyager. And our stars will be Ida Lupino and Paul Henreid. The picture has played to packed houses all over the country. And next Monday, we'll bring you this powerful story of a woman's sacrifice for love with Ida Lupino and Hollywood's newest sensation, Paul Henreid.
That was a very fine picture, CB. It's a cinch your audience is going to love it.
Now, I'd like to have you all meet Irene Rich's daughter, Lieutenant Frances Rich of the Waves.
Good evening, and thank you, Uncle Cecil. I've enjoyed tonight's play immensely.
Uncle Cecil, huh? You didn't tell us about that, CB.
Well, he isn't really my uncle, Mr. Murphy, but I've always called him that. I went to school with his daughters.
As a matter of fact, George, I'm the proud owner of the first piece of sculpture that Frances ever made, long before she acquired a national reputation as an artist.
Thanks for those kind words. After the war, I hope to go back to my trade. But I have another job now, and I think Pat O'Brien can help me out a little.
Say the word, Lieutenant.
Well, when you visited those Caribbean bases, were the boys getting the news from home?
Well, most of them were, thanks to V-mail.
Well, the amount of mail that must go overseas to our armed forces has presented a terrific problem to the Army and Navy.
V-mail's the way of photographing letters on very small film, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and it saves valuable cargo spaces on ships and planes. V-mail has priority over all other mail, and it's always sent by air. We hope to persuade everyone to use it when riding overseas, and any stationery store has V-mail letter paper.
I'd like to know a little more about your branch of the service, Lieutenant, the Waves.
Well, any woman may join, Miss Hussey, who is a citizen between the ages of 20 and 50 and doesn't have children under 18.
Well, just what Navy jobs have the Waves taken over, Francis? I mean, Lieutenant.
Well, it would take me from now until 2400 to tell you all of them.
Pardon me, but what's 2400?
Well, that's midnight in the Navy, Miss Hussey. You know, every wave releases a man for our fighting ships. They're learning to operate the control towers at Navy airfields. You'll find them working as machinists, metal workers, radio operators, meteorologists, photographers, and dozens of other jobs, all interesting.
In brief, I take it that you think very well of the Waves.
Well, how else can a girl think when each new day is really more interesting than the last? Well, may I thank you all, and good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Best of luck to the Waves, Francis. Our sponsors, the makers of Lux Flakes, join me in inviting you to be with us again next Monday night when the Lux Radio Theater presents Ida Lupino and Paul Henreid in Now Voyager. This is Cecil B. DeMille saying good night to you from Hollywood.
Ruth Hussey will soon be seen in the Paramount picture The Uninvited. Heard in tonight's play were George Sorrell as Croner, Eddie Marr as Samter, Edwin Mills as Dutson, Warren Ash as Behringer, and Griff Barnett, Charles Seal, Harry Flashman, Fred Mackay, Noel Madison, Norman Field, and Leo Cleary. Our music was directed by Louis Silvers. And this is your announcer, John M. Kennedy, reminding you to tune in next Monday night to hear Ida Lupino and Paul Henreid in Now Voyager.
Today, you can't afford to be tired or nervous because of a diet low in vitamins. Yet, with food rationing and shortages, it's harder to get vitamin-rich foods. So take Vims. Vims are scientifically designed to help make meals complete. Vims give you all the vitamins government experts say are essential, balanced in the formula doctors endorse. And Vims supply all the minerals commonly lacking. Get Vims at druggists. VI for vitamins, double MS for minerals. Vims. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
82 years ago, May 3rd, 1943, the Lux Radio Theater here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Tomorrow, we'll have an episode of Suspense from 1958 and an episode of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, from 1958. The Suspense episode will star Jackie Kelk, yes, that Jackie Kelk, in his program called Sundown. And Bob Bailey as Johnny Dollar will deal with the Carson arson matter. We'll also have an episode of This Is Your FBI entitled The Confidence Game and the CBS Radio Workshop production from 1956 of the Toledo War, the first Civil War in the U.S. On Monday, comedy with Mr. and Mrs. Blandings, starring Cary Grant and Betsy Drake from 1951. My Friend Irma, starring Marie Wilson from 1953. And An Hour with Rudy Valley in the Royal Gelatin Hour, and his guest is Boris Karloff. On Tuesday, we'll have another couple of episodes from 1962. A Sunday with Mandel Kramer as yours truly, Johnny Dollar. A Suspense episode starring Bob Reddick, who not only starred in the show but wrote the show, entitled The Second Door. A 1945 episode of The Sealed Book. And an episode of Dimension X from 1950 entitled Knock. You were the last man on Earth, and there was a knock on the door. That's what it's about. On Wednesday, more comedy with the Texaco Star Theater from 1941. All stars, Fred Allen, Amos and Andy, and Jack Benny. Father Knows Best from 1951. And an episode of The Henry Morgan Show from 1947. On Thursday, drama. A salute to World War II. 1945, On a Note of Triumph, a wonderful, wonderful patriotic show. We'll also have a 1949 production of the NBC University Theater and The Red Badge of Courage. And on Friday, Broadway is My Beat, starring Larry Thor from 1953, an episode of Escape the Time Machine, starring H.G. Wells, Orson Welles as in The Lives of Harry Lime, Viva la Chance, and an episode of Sherlock Holmes starring John Stanley and Alfred Shirley, the illustrious client. That's just some of what's coming up this week here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Coming up next here on the show, an episode of Suspense.
Listen and learn through civil defense. This is Johnny Cash. I'd like all of you to remember that America can withstand enemy attack if we support the emergency plans of our community and learn to help ourselves. Make sure you're prepared. Contact your local civil defense office today.
And we continue now on radio's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Even in 1954, as the series was winding down, they still produced some great shows. Take this one, starring Frank Lovejoy. It's from 71 years ago, May 3rd, 1954, The Giant of Thermopylae.
Autolite and its 98,000 dealers bring you Mr. Frank Lovejoy in tonight's presentation of Suspense.
Tonight, Autolite presents the story of a man who wanted to save his life, but he had to get into a fight to do it. And the fight was with the Giant of Thermopylae. Our star, Mr. Frank Lovejoy.
Hi, Harlow. Doing some gardening?
Yes, sir, Hap, and here's my favorite plant.
Well, that's an Autolite Stay Full battery.
Sure, the power plant for quick, dependable starts, Hap. And unlike other plants, this one needs watering only 3 times a year in normal car use.
Oh, it's a daisy, Harlow.
Sure is, Hap. It's far and away the best battery blooming.
And it never gets bushed.
Of course not. The Autolite Stay Full can take it better than a cactus plant because of fiberglass retaining mats around every positive plate. They prevent shedding and flaking to give the Autolite Stay Full longer life, as proved by tests conducted according to accepted life cycle standards. Do you dig me, Hap?
Had you planted before you opened your 2 lips, Harlow.
Oh, okay. Then cultivate the acquaintance of the best battery botanist in town, your Autolite battery dealer. He'll give your car that hardy perennial, the Autolite Stay Full, the battery that needs water only 3 times a year in normal car use. Remember, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite.
And now, Autolite presents transcribed Mr. Frank Lovejoy in The Giant of Thermopylae, hoping once again to keep you in suspense.
James Bernard Walters. Walters?
Right here.
All right, son, let's go.
Sure thing.
How about me, huh? Stinks, you're a lucky guy.
What's happening, Constable?
Happening? It's your lucky day, big fella. You're getting out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then you can go home and get yourself in trouble all over again, huh? All right, in here. Here, sign.
Hmm?
For your stuff, son. You want it back, don't you?
Oh, sure.
There. Atta boy. Yeah. Now then. Yeah. Wristwatch, ring, billfold. Oh, we better count your money. Dark glasses, your belt and your tie. Yeah. That's it, I guess.
Seems to be all here.
Okay, big fella, take 'em and get going. Through that door.
Nothing personal, Constable, but I'm glad to. So long.
You know, if they'd needed just one more guy on the county farm to fill out that labor gang they're getting up, you'd be a mighty overworked young fella about now.
Too bad I missed it, huh?
As I say, this is your lucky day, kiddo. But I got a little advice for you. Don't walk into any more bars in this town and start trouble. We don't like that sort of thing.
I don't like your town, Constable. What do you think of that?
Well, I think you're kind of a smart-alecky young fella. And I think you should get out and leave it alone if that's the way you feel. And don't get fussy with me. I like the town, and I'm the law. What kind of work do you do?
I'm a riveter, construction jobs.
Well, that's what you ought to do instead of getting into trouble. Work at your riveting.
But I told you this when they brought me in here, and I'm going to say it once more before I go.
Oh, what's that?
That bird I hit. He didn't have any reason to get huffy with me. I wasn't doing anything to him. I was just in there having a beer by myself. He got nasty, I hit him, and I wind up in jail. Doesn't seem like justice to me.
Did he hit you?
No, but he tried to.
Law says you assaulted him, big fella. Well, you see, you learned something here at that. Where are you from?
Illinois.
Well, maybe you ought to go back there, son. I wouldn't stick around here if I was you. You don't seem to get along with us here.
I get along okay. All I need is a fair shake.
Maybe so, but I've hauled a lot of people in here in my day. And you know what I called you when I first saw you? When I didn't even know why you were brought in? I called you a brawler, son. I called you a gas house playboy. Always got to get yourself in fights. Now, am I right?
I don't look for trouble. I just like to hold my own.
Yeah, that's up to you, of course.
Hey.
What is it, son?
$2.90 missing out of my billfold.
Oh, I took it.
Huh?
For 2 meals you had here, breakfast and lunch. This county don't pay board for prisoners who can afford it.
Well, thanks.
Better run along now and stay out of trouble. All my boys know you, and our policy is to keep an eye on fellas like you, so watch your step.
I will. I couldn't afford another day in your jail.
That's pretty good, son. That's pretty good.
That's about the way this whole thing began. I mean, me getting out of jail after a night and morning of cooling off. I've been in jail before, and I guess I deserved it, but this time I didn't. I've been watching my step for a long time now, and they didn't have any call to book me in. When I walked outside that afternoon, I began looking around for this guy. I didn't know his name or anything, but I sort of remembered what he looked like. Seemed as though it'd be a good idea to hit him once more before I left town. I'd have been much better off if I'd gotten out of there on the next bus.
You. You.
Me?
Yes. I'm sorry I don't know your name, but you're the one who was in the bar last night, aren't you?
I guess I was. Why?
Oh, is it all right now?
Well, I'm out, if that's what you mean.
My name's Mary Jane. Mary Jane Kennedy. I knew they put you in jail, and I don't think it was a bit right, but I'm glad you're out now. I was going to come in and ask about you just now, but I didn't even know who to ask for.
Jim Walters. They call me Walt.
Well, Walt, that was a pretty decent thing you did last night. I'm awfully sorry you got into trouble over me.
Huh?
Well, I'd like to do something. I mean, it was very nice of you, and where are you going now?
No place.
Well, come on, let's talk.
Sure, why not? Now, for a couple of seconds there, I forgot all about this fella I was looking for because this little girl was real cute. So I went along with her. But I also thought maybe I'll find the guy this way. So, this is your place, huh?
Yeah. Excuse me.
Sure. Pretty nice.
Oh, not so nice. Pretty awful, as a matter of fact. I'm going to move as soon as I get a chance.
Yeah? Well, what's so awful?
Oh, out there. That's what's wrong. The fun park.
I think it looks kind of pretty myself. The Ferris wheel and the roller coaster and all. I sure do.
You don't have to live with it every day and every night. If you did, you'd soon get over that. It's a horrible place. Ugly and cheap and noisy. Just horrible.
Oh, well, it's too bad.
But I work near here. This is the only place I could get. So I have to live in the area until I can afford something better. So noisy.
Where do you work, Mary?
At Allied Aircraft. I'm a secretary.
That's pretty nice. Say, wouldn't happen to have a little drink around here, would you?
Drink?
Yeah, bourbon maybe, or a glass of beer.
I wasn't thinking of anything like that, Walt.
No? What were you thinking of, then?
Well, I just wanted to talk to you quietly for a minute. Thank you for your help last night.
Oh, that's it, huh?
Yes, that's it.
Beats me. Just beats me. Maybe this is just a crazy town. I don't know.
I don't understand you.
Look, Sugar, you can play it any way you want to, but it was you who met me outside the jailhouse. You were waiting for me. And you brought me over here. Now, I saw you, I don't know, once before in my life, in that beer joint last night, maybe. You say you were there, I guess I might have seen you. Now, here I am at your place, I ask you for a drink, you start getting coy. Mary, you can thank me all night long, but I never did anything for you in my life.
You're very funny, Walt.
Yeah, it's a real scream, all right. Suppose we look up a drink around here and then, well, we sit down over there where we can look surprised at each other a little better, huh?
I don't have anything to drink here. I don't want anything.
Well, that's pretty definite.
Walt, last night you hit Tim. You hit him good and hard, and you got in trouble for it. Why'd you hit him?
Tim, that's the name of the guy?
Yes, Tim Bennett. Why'd you hit him?
Well, because he got awful frisky with me, and I don't let anybody get away with that kind of thing. If he hadn't come by and started shooting off his face, everything would have been all right. As it was, he made me hit him, and then I had to spend the night in jail because he felt frisky.
I don't understand this. I've made a mistake.
Well, I don't understand it either. Don't look at me that way. I haven't done anything to you.
Didn't you know I was with Tim Bennett last night?
Were you?
Yes, of course I was with him. And he was pretty nasty about Owen and me. And just when he was going to hit me, you hit him.
Oh, well, that clears that much up. So I did do something for you at that.
But you didn't hit him on account of me, did you?
Sure I did, baby. Sure I did.
Oh, no, you didn't. You hit him for some other reason.
No, baby. Now, let's have a drink.
Oh, get out of here. I met you today because I thought you helped me last night. You didn't help me. You're nothing but a brawler.
All right. I hit him because he walked by and said something. That doesn't mean we can't be friends.
My mistake, mister. Just go and forget it.
Okay. We both messed this one up, didn't we, Mary? Well, can you tell me something?
What?
Where can I find him?
Tim Bennett?
Yeah.
Works at the fun park. He owns part of it.
Well, where do I find him over there?
I don't know. Maybe at the Ferris wheel. Sometimes the fun house. Moves all around. Why?
Well, I still remember I spent the night in the pokey on account of him. I figure he's kind of a big talker and needs a little working over before I leave town. Before I leave town, I think I'll look him up and smack him once again. Maybe that was the wrong thing to say, but I had it on my mind and I let it out. It's just the way I am. Get everything squared away and shipshape before I move on to the next town. You know, no loose ends, tidy things up. Besides, I've always been a sucker for an amusement park.
Get your hot doggy here. Get your red hot doggy here. Get it while they're hot. Get your hot doggy here. Hot dogs. All right, get your hot doggies here. Hot doggies. Get your red hot doggies here.
Yes, look at her and PMA. Now step right up and get your ticket. Show's about to begin on the inside. Tickets. Tickets. How many, brother?
Where do I find Tim Bennett? Tim Bennett, friend. He owns part of this junk heap. He works here. Where do I find him? I want to talk to him.
Try the funhouse, Pally.
Thanks.
Hey, don't I know you?
Why should you?
Oh, because I hear you had a little trouble in a beer joint with Tim last night.
Then I guess you know me. You say the fun house?
Yeah, right across the way. And have fun.
Don't worry, I will. Where do I find Tim?
Tim Bennett?
Yeah.
Back there.
Inside? You mean inside?
That's right.
When'll he be out?
I don't know. He's working on the Giant.
On the what?
The Giant of Thermopylae. He guards the back exit. He was a Greek.
Is that him back there?
No, you can't see him from here.
What's the gimmick?
Well, you seem like a bright guy, so I'll tell you. See, the civilians go in through here. They walk all the way through the funhouse to the back, and they think that's where they're going to come out. But they can't because the Giant is standing there guarding the door. So they have to come back through the whole place and come out the front here. Same way they went in.
Now, isn't that fancy?
We think it is.
How big is this Giant?
Oh, 9 feet tall, maybe.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah, every once in a while he don't work so good. Tim is the only one knows how to fix him. The levers go bad and everything. Happened this morning. Tim's been back there ever since. Wait. Got her going in, too.
Well, you're a real panic. I want to see Bennett.
Well, you'll have to go through the house.
Okay.
And you have to get a ticket.
Oh. Well, I wouldn't want to miss him. Here.
Sure. That way.
Thank you. Oh. You can lay off the air jet when I go in.
Huh?
Laugh getter. I don't like them. I mean fun houses. They give me the willies. But I had myself a nice little idea. If Bennett was in there working on that big Giant, I'd find him, and it'd be just him and me inside, no local cop around to toss me in the pokey. I still owed him something for the night before, and I could pay him back and sort of have a little extra fun in the fun house where nobody'd bother us. Took me 10 minutes to scram through the barrels and the room of mirrors and the slides and whatnot before I got to the Giant. It was an awful looking thing. It was 9 feet tall easy, and it had this ridiculous motion. When it was standing up, it blocked the door all right, but then it would laugh. And as it did, then it would bend forward like it was staring at something on the floor. Then, after a couple of seconds, it would straighten up again with all its gears clanking. By the time I got to Bennett, he'd gotten it fixed good. Seemed to be working just fine. Sort of automatically, I looked at the floor where the Giant was looking. And all at once, I didn't want to see Tim Bennett anymore because he was lying there right at my feet. And there were 4 holes in his shirt front. 4 holes made by a knife, and Tim Bennett was as dead as you can get. I turned around. I wanted to get out of there, and then it occurred to me that the way out was through the front. And me and my big mouth. Everybody in the world almost knew I'd been looking for Bennett so I could hit him. I had to get out, sure. But I couldn't get out the front. The back was the way out. Out through the door behind the Giant. But how to do that? Well, watch the pattern of the big fella. What exactly did he do? Was it impossible to get past him? The laugh. And as he did it, he bent down and looked at the floor, which left a little space along his left side, room enough to get through before he straightened. While he stood there not moving, you couldn't get by. It had to be real fast. Now, how fast? Laugh 5 times, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the count of 5, he straightened. A beat of 5 between the last laugh and when he straightened. And he came up fast and strong, enough power to crush anything that got between him and the wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, that was it. That was it. All right. Now wait for the laugh, and as soon as he finishes laughing, make a run for it. Now. He'd straighten straightened up before I got a chance to move, and now he wasn't laughing. He was just looking down at me, his glass eyes staring. Then it seemed as though his wooden face moved a little.
You didn't think I was going to let you out of here, did you?
Autolite is bringing you Mr. Frank Lovejoy in The Giant of Thermopylae, tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Maytime's the time, eh, Harlow?
The time to get an Autolite Stay Full battery, the perfectly performing, peerless producer that needs water only 3 times a year in normal car use.
Pretty particular package, eh, Harlow?
Yes, Hap, and that personable Power Pack Paragon is persistently prepared thanks to fiberglass retaining mats around every positive plate. They reduce shedding and flaking to give the Autolite Stay Full longer life, as proved by tests conducted according to accepted life cycle standards.
And there's another kind of protection, too, Harlow.
Sure, Hap. The Autolite Stay Full has over 3 times as much liquid protection as batteries without Stay Full features.
That's why it needs water only 3 times a year in normal car use, and it says so right on the battery case.
Right. So, friends, visit your Autolite battery dealer. He's equipped to give you the best in battery advice and service, and only he has the world-famous Autolite Stay Full battery. Remember, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite.
And now, Autolite brings back to our Hollywood soundstage Mr. Frank Lovejoy in Elliot Lewis's production of The Giant of Thermopylae, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
But take it from me, and I've been in plenty of places. Hearing that thing talk and seeing it stop moving when I tried to get out of there was something I sure hadn't counted on. I got it in my head all of a sudden that the thing could talk and that it could think. And if I tried to sneak by or rush it, one of those big arms would come down against me and smash me against the wall. I couldn't stay in there with that dead guy, and I couldn't go out the front way. So I had to give it a try.
I said I won't let you go.
So there I was, sitting on the floor next to Tim Bennett, who was dead, just kind of looking up at this big, ugly giant. And he wasn't laughing now, not a bit. He was just hoping I'd keep rushing him until he battered me to death. Because he wasn't laughing, somebody from out front had come back to find out what was wrong with him, and they'd find me in the body of this guy I'd been threatening all day. After a while, it seemed there were 2 of me. The one sitting on the floor sort of whimpering and crying and looking at the giant. The other one sitting there and saying things to himself. Things about giants and funhouses made of wood and metal and rags and a couple of gears. Well, that one didn't whimper. He said, nothing like this big thing can talk, really. No giant they got standing up in the rear end of a funhouse to scare the suckers can think. And those big arms are only levers, and those eyes are only light bulbs, and that laugh is only a record. And the talk? I decided to find out about that. Go ahead, laugh, you big pile of junk. I'll show you. I'll show you this hunk of frame. I'll get you, you big... Now, take a good look at this. 4 feet of iron as tough as those arms of yours. Let's see how you like this. That's it. Bend and see how you like this. How do you like it? How do you like it? How do you like it? Not so good, huh? Not so good. You want some more? I was right about the laugh, anyway. It was a record, and now it was broken. And then suddenly, for no reason at all, the arms started to move up and down again, but without any noise and kind of helplessly. I didn't waste any more time. I saw my chance to scoot, and I did. I sprung open the door behind the thing, and I got outside.
Hey, what is this?
Huh?
Hey, what have you been doing? You busted up the Giant? You crazy or something? Hey, look, buddy, where's Tim?
He's in there with...
Hey, what's the matter with you?
Your Giant. He's trying to turn his head.
Huh?
See, he's trying to turn his head.
You busted him.
I sure did. I busted him good. I did. He's bleeding. Look.
Holy smoke.
I showed him. Go ahead, laugh. Laugh at me now. Can't you laugh? The scream did it. That and the blood all over the Giant. I wanted to run, but my legs wouldn't have taken me anywhere if you'd given me $1 million. So, I wind up here, the same old place, a jailhouse, only this time I'm not in a cell. I'm in a little room, and the doctor keeps feeling my forehead and asking me how I feel and giving me shots. I tell him I feel fine. Like to talk to somebody. Then he looks worried and he walks away. I've been wondering about him. Maybe he doesn't feel so good himself. The Giant did talk, and he did bleed. And he did scream. I know he did. I know he did.
Walters. Ah, you lie still, big fella. You got quite a fever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, quite a fever. Thought I'd better talk to you before you go back to sleep again. May help your sleep. Quite a thing out there in the fun house. You didn't stay out of trouble at that, did you?
No.
If you're trying to say, no, you didn't, I get the idea, so save your breath. Well, first off, I talked to that girl named of Mary Jane Kennedy. Very nice girl. She told me how you were out looking for Tim Bennett.
Sheriff, I know I was looking for him, but...
Just can't stay out of trouble, can you? Got to always be hitting somebody, making sure you're top man. Well, you're top man this time, all right. Someday I'm going to ask you how it feels to tangle with a Giant, but I'm not going to ask you right now, no. Because I also talked to one of the Barkers over there, one you asked about Tim, and to a couple other people.
What about Bennett?
Now, don't try to ace me, son. You know Tim's all through talking. He was stabbed 4 times.
Well, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I was looking for him, sure. I was going to beat him up a little, but I didn't knife him. He was that way when I found him. Honest he was.
And how about the Giant?
I had to fight with him.
Yeah, I guess you did. And the guy inside him.
Huh?
The guy who was inside the Giant, working him.
There was a man inside the Giant?
There sure was, but you kind of killed him, big fella. You wrecked all the gears and he got caught in them. You know who he was?
No.
He was someone just like you, who didn't like Tim Bennett, name of Owen Brady. He wanted to marry that girl. Tim was doing everything he could to louse it. So Owen stabbed Tim. And when you showed up, he hid in the Giant. He thought it'd be a dandy idea to tag you for the job. He had no way of knowing you were on his side. He'd never seen you, you know.
Then he did talk.
Oh, yeah, he talked, and he bled and screamed, and he died in there. You weren't hearing things or seeing things, son. It happened. Now maybe you can sleep a little better, huh?
I sleep, but not much better. I know what it was all about now, but I still think of it and wonder about it. And I hear it every now and then. But I feel better. I haven't fought with anybody for a long time now, and never will again. But my last fight, that was a pip. I whipped the Giant of Thermopylae.
Suspense. Presented by Autolite. Tonight's star, Mr. Frank Lovejoy.
This is Harlow Wilcox for Autolite, the world's largest independent manufacturer of automotive electrical equipment. In 28 plants from coast to coast, the men and women of Autolite build over 400 fine products for leading cars, trucks, tractors, planes, boats, and industry. Autolite contributes its manufacturing experience and skills to the fields of electronics, agriculture, die casting, and plastics. The Autolite name is famous all over the world for products of unsurpassed quality and performance. In service, too, Autolite facilities are worldwide. Wherever you travel, you'll find trained experts prepared to serve your technical needs. So, for superior products for use in industry or for you and your family, always look for the name Autolite, because from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite.
Next week, the true story of a reign of terror, the dramatic report of the final moments of a beast, a man without conscience, a professional killer. It's called The Last Days of John Dillinger. Our star, Mr. Van Heflin. And that's next week on Suspense. Suspense is transcribed and directed by Elliot Lewis, with music composed by Lucian Morowick and conducted by Lud Gluskin. The Giant of Thermopylae was written for Suspense by E. Jack Newman. Featured in the cast tonight were Charlotte Lawrence, Joseph Kearns, Paul Frees, Herb Ellis, and Jerry Hausner.
Frank Lovejoy can now be seen starring in the Technicolor picture Beachhead.
And remember next week, Mr. Van Heflin in The Last Days of John Dillinger.
You can buy Autolite Stay Full batteries, Autolite Standard or Resistor type spark plugs, and Autolite Original service parts at your neighborhood Autolite dealers. Switch to Autolite. Good night.
The YMCA movement provides excellent recreational facilities at small cost to hundreds of thousands of young people. Why don't you check on the many membership advantages at your local YMCA? This is the CBS Radio Network.
From Monday, May 3rd, 1954, 71 years ago, broadcast at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, and Suspense. A little bit later, in fact, an hour and a half later, you had Nightwatch on CBS, and that's what we'll hear next, the predecessor to Cops. But first, I want to remind you that if you want to support the podcast, send me a note. Through classicradio.stream. You can do it there. We have items for sale there. And you can also buy me a coffee. That helps us acquire additional programs. And we've done a lot of that lately. But right now, Nightwatch coming up in just a moment.
Civil defense is common sense. This is Pat Boone. In case of enemy attack, you must know your warning signals. A steady blast of 3 to 5 minutes means tune your radio dial to 640 or 1240. A 3-minute wavering tone or a series of short blasts, take cover immediately.
Everybody thought Cops was truly groundbreaking at its time because they went on the streets with the cars, with cameras, and told you exactly what, and you saw exactly what the policemen were going through. Well, it wasn't that groundbreaking, just that it brought video. Back in 1954, Nightwatch took you inside the cars. And it, back then, tape recording technology was still brand new, at least portability-wise. But they carried a suitcase with them, and they recorded what went on these night watches in the mean streets of Culver City, California. Don Reed, as the host of the show, brought you everything. 71 years ago, May 3rd, 1954, Nightwatch.
Car 50 in service. Starting mileage 2497, 2497. Officers Perkins and Madlock. Tour of duty 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. on the night watch.
Check 50, 6:02 p.m. Starting night watch.
This is Don Reed, and I'm the police recorder riding with this detective unit. The sounds you're listening to are authentic, and you're going to ride with us tonight and listen as the cases unfold. Now, I want you to remember one thing. The people you hear are not actors. This is real. This is what happens on the Night Watch.
Night Watch, the actual on-the-scene report of your police force in action. There are no actors. There is no script. Every voice, every sound is authentic. The investigations are recorded as they actually occur. Night Watch, presented with the cooperation of the Police Department of Culver City, California. W.N. Hildebrand, Chief. We switch you now to Car 50 on patrol and your police recorder, Don Reed.
Well, it's 1:30 a.m. on the Night Watch. We've been patrolling for over 7 hours, and things have been fairly quiet tonight. Just checking our log. At 8:21 p.m., assisted car 57 with a miscellaneous injury call. 9:30 until approximately 12:40 a.m., we staked out on a liquor store on a tip that it might be held up. 3 hours of waiting and no soap.
Well, you can't say we didn't try, Don.
That's right. You know, people really
just a minute. All units in the vicinity on cars 50 and 52. At 2700 Burlingame, at the gas station, 459 there now.
That's us. 50, Roger.
Rolling on that call. A 459 means there's a burglar there now. There's little traffic on the street, and we're actually in the vicinity at the present time. So, in just a matter of minutes, we'll be there. Rolling at a very good clip now, slowing down momentarily. We have a rather odd sensation here in the car. There's fog lying in patches across the street, and every few seconds we sort of burst in and then out again. And just for that split second, our visibility is zero. Here comes another one up. You probably can feel the car slow down just a bit as the sergeant instinctively hits that brake. There we're in second, and in the clear once again and rolling. Now, I'll try to fill you in on just a bit of this picture in this last few moments. The gas station that we're trying to get to. Hold on, we're making a turn. There we are, squared away. The gas station that we're going to, we've been there many times before, and if we can get there soon enough, we have a fighting chance of getting him, because the gas station is set in a large clearing, as I remember, and is completely glassed in. So if he's in that vicinity, well, time will tell. Here we goes another turn. We're about 3 blocks from the station now. There goes off our headlights. We'll run in the dark the rest of the way. Try not to attract too much more attention than necessary. The street is almost empty as we're coming in for the opposite direction. There's calls coming over our speaker. Now, looking off in the distance, I can see the lights of another one of our cars coming in. That's a safe bet. It's another one of our units rolling in. And looking ahead, there's the gas station over on the right-hand side. As far as I can see, it's dark. There's no sign of life. Now we're pulling in quietly. Lights are off. Car is stopped. Sergeant Perkins is out of the car and hurrying around to the front door. The other police unit is pulled around to the other side of the building. They're out of my view. Now let's get right out with the officers. Out of the car. Up against the building. Moving along in the dark. There's glass breaking somewhere. Let's get around there. There he is. They got him. Popping him through the glass window. He was trying to make a break for it. The officers are putting him under arrest. So let's get right over there.
The wall there. Who else is around here?
Nobody. No.
What are you doing at the gas station?
The window was busted and
What are you doing inside? Take a look at that hand here. How'd you cut your hand?
On the window.
Now put your hands around and back there. Don't mess around, fella. Put your hands around and back of you.
Please don't take me in, please.
I'm going in.
Please don't take me in, sir. Please. Please.
Get the flashlight. Put your hands around here now.
Please don't take me in.
Put your arm back. Hurry up.
Please, my mother will kill me.
Put your arm back here.
Don't take me in.
All right, now.
Oh, okay. Oh, please don't take me in.
You're going in, son. You won't break into a place like this.
Okay, I'm not going nowhere.
All right, you're not going anywhere. The only place you're going is the jail.
Oh, please don't take me in, sir. Please.
What are you doing in this building in here?
I was just walking by and saw the window broken.
So you climbed in.
So I climbed in.
Take a minute, Bert.
Please don't take me in, sir. Please.
The officers have the suspect handcuffed and are escorting him to a police car. Meanwhile, one of the officers are going to take pictures of the point of entry to be used as evidence if necessary.
Let me get a picture for you. All right, go ahead. Get out of here. The informant is across the street here. Gave a telephone call. I'll go check with him. Pretty good observation. I'll check with him if you want.
Must be him on it now.
See how much blood I got on me.
None. Lucky. News for you.
You get some on you?
No, but I had it on my hands and I wiped it on my coat. I don't know where I got the blood from.
Should I get him on there, too?
That was a lucky break.
Boy.
And how?
Boy, that happened so fast. Phew. Let's move over to the police car where Officer DeVoe is holding the prisoner.
GTA, don't you know any better than GTA to break into a place and try to burglarize? Please don't take me in. I'll get all kinds of messed up.
Sure you'll get messed up. You should have thought of that before you started this. You never learn once, you never learn a second time.
Oh, sir, God, I learned. Honest, I learned. Please don't take me in.
What are you going to be doing at 21 if you're doing it now?
I won't do this again, sir. Honest, I won't. Please don't take me in, please. Just let me go. Say I escaped or something, but let me go.
No, we can't do that.
Oh, sir, I'll never do it again, sir. Honest, I swear it.
Oh, you should have thought of all that before you started this in here.
Oh, sir, can't you let me out of here, please? Honest to God, I didn't do it. I just went in.
Well, what are you doing in the building? The building's locked up.
The window was broken.
How'd you cut your hand?
On the window, crawling in.
Well, what are you doing crawling in the window like that?
I wanted to see what was up. I didn't know what was happening.
You can look through the glass, can't you?
I couldn't see anything.
Well, then what'd you go in for? It's none of your business. That's what we get paid for. It's our job, not yours. You been in trouble before?
Yeah.
What for?
For GTA.
What else?
That's all.
That's all?
That's all.
You on probation now?
Yeah.
Let's get around the building now with the sergeant and Officer Hebrard and examine where the suspect broke in.
I'm going to get some fingerprints on this thing, because if we can tie his fingerprints in there, then we've got definite proof. You want a radio for him?
Looking inside of the broken glass where we captured the suspect just a few moments ago. Let's see, it's rather dark in the building here, and I can see where he's been attempting to work on the cash register. Fortunately, he didn't quite make it. I want to get too close to the building for the simple reason we don't want to leave any fingerprints. The men will be down here. Sergeant Perkins, this is the gentleman that...
Are you the one that made the call?
Yeah.
Could you recognize who it was?
No.
Can you tell me this? After you called the police, did you watch the place here?
Yeah.
Did you see anybody leave?
No.
How many did you see here at the station?
Just the one.
Just the one. And then after you called the police, you didn't see anybody else leave the station?
No.
Okay, fine. Well, we may want some more information from you later. We can get it from your organization. Appreciate it very much. It's very alert on your part. Good night, folks.
That's only 4 blocks.
Well, you don't worry about your house now, son. You're in it for a day. Your parents will be notified as soon as possible, but after the booking, not before.
It won't do me no good, though, now.
Well, it won't do you any good afterwards.
But I didn't do it.
You just relax. Everything's going to be all right.
Oh, no, I'm going to get all messed up now.
There goes car 5-2, moving out now with the prisoner. Officer DeVoe driving, Officer Hebrard guarding the prisoner. He's securely handcuffed. There they go. Now I see the sergeant waving. That's our cue to get back to our police car.
5-0 to Control 1. Have you notified Lieutenant Olson on the fingerprints down here?
5-1, I have not as yet. I am attempting to contact the owner.
5-0, Roger. We'll stand by until you get either Lieutenant Olson or the owner down here.
5-0, Roger.
And arriving now is the head of the Records and Identification Bureau, Lieutenant Olson.
Oh, me.
Hi, Lieutenant.
Fine, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Watch it now. Of course, he does deny it, huh?
He was in the place when we saw him, but he said he went into the door, found the door open.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we want to get the fingerprints inside if we could.
Don't disturb any of that glass there.
The rock is inside that apparently he used to break in.
The officers are going into the building, so let's go in with them. Now, here's a quick picture. The floor is littered with broken glass. The cash drawer is broken open and coins are scattered all over the floor. And spots of blood are here and there, indicating the suspect cut his hand getting in.
There's a penny there.
We're on the cash tray?
Yeah, cash tray. There's blood on the pennies
Yeah,
here.
there's blood on the pennies and the tray both.
The other money is still in the...
There's blood on the toolbox there, sir.
blood on the toolbox.
Yes, sir.
You want it for analysis?
Yeah, let me get an envelope out here. Yeah, drop them right in this envelope.
I'll get the picture.
I think that's all you need. Here's some more in here. You don't... That's the kids. These are Cook Gosling.
You are listening to Nightwatch and following the activities of a detective unit on their tour of duty. The people you hear are not actors, and every voice and every sound is real. The investigations are recorded as they actually occur. We will give you the final results of tonight's case at the conclusion of The Nightwatch. And now we switch you back to police headquarters and police recorder Don Reed.
We're located now in the Detective Bureau.
Tell us what happened tonight?
Sergeant Perkins, along with the other arresting officers, Hebrard and DeVoe, are about to question the young suspect.
You go by yourself?
Just sitting here, two things impress me a great deal.
Walking home?
First, despite the fact that this suspect is a big fellow, he's just a boy, maybe 15 or 16. And the great difference in his composure. At the scene, he was nearly hysterical. And now? Well, you decide that for yourself.
I think I was just standing there thinking what I'll do next. So I went in.
What did you do after you got into the gas station?
I looked around for a while, and there's a container deal with some pennies or some junk on it. I don't know, I think I shoved it over. And I was in the middle picking the things up when you people came.
How much trouble have you been in before?
GTA and the GTA and the joyriding before that.
You have one joyriding and one Grand Theft Auto?
Uh-huh.
When you went to show tonight, did you have any intention of breaking into the gas station?
No, I didn't have any intention. I just started walking by. And I don't know what happened, but after that I just picked up a rock and I threw it through.
Did you try to get in the building at all before? Did you try to pry the window or pry the door?
No, I didn't try to pry it. I walked over and I looked in. I think I wanted to check my watch or something. I think there's a little clock in there somewhere. I don't know what it was, but I went by there and I looked in. And then I walked over and I picked up a stone, a rock, whatever you want to call it. Heaved it. I don't know why, I just did it.
Excuse me, Mr. Perkins. Okay. DeVoe, Green wants to see you. You know, you're fairly lucky to have gotten out of that without being shot tonight.
Yeah, I've been told.
We're going to call your mother in a few minutes and tell her where you are. We can't release you now. You have to stay here, and then from here you go down to Juvenile Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to take him back up? This is Sergeant Perkins. We have your son up here in jail. He broke into a gas station a little while ago. I don't know why he broke into it, but he broke into it. We caught him inside of the station. He doesn't know why he broke into it. Well, I don't either, ma'am. Well, I just wanted to notify you that he's here in jail and that he'll be here until tomorrow and transferred down to Juvenile Hall tomorrow afternoon. No, ma'am, we can't release him, but you can see him if you want to come down and see him. Okay.
It's about 30 minutes since that phone call. The mother, accompanied by the suspect's older brother, have just entered the office.
Gas station.
All right. Cry at home. What time did you pick him
Just
up?
looking at the mother.
What time was it?
Well, this scene is a little hard to take.
15. He was crouched behind the door inside when I got there. The window was broken, and a lot of the things on the station were all over the floor.
How many boys were there?
Just himself, just one. He told us that he came by the station and he didn't know why he did it, but picked up a rock and threw it through the window, down inside.
I think the kid's become a mental case.
Are you his brother?
Yeah, We live about 4 blocks from the station. I mean, you could have just as well continued on home. There's no excuse for it. How much did he gain by it?
He didn't gain anything.
Why don't you go sit outside, man?
You want to take us some water right outside there and talk to you? Come on.
Get up, man.
Let me sit here. I'll be all right.
Crying. You're so busy. You can't watch you all night.
I'll be all right.
Would you like a glass of water?
No, I'll be okay, thank you. You know, now they'll ship him up and I'll lose the book on them. I don't know what to say.
Well, we're going to have to find out what's causing him to do these things. Try to get it stopped before he gets himself into some trouble.
I took him to the movies and I said when he calls me up, I'll pick him up. He never called. I've been laying and watching that bed. I figured any minute he's coming along. I see it's 2 o'clock. It's 2:30. I figured he stopped. He goes to Hamilton. There's a little place there, an inn or something, that he may have stopped there. I wasn't going to go out at night and drive around and look. I figured I'll wait. This is what I waited for. Now they'll just ship him right back, if not even worse. Well, this is it.
Would you like to see your son?
I'd like to see what he has to say.
All right. Would you like to see him?
May as well face the music. I don't know if he'll say anything.
Do you want him brought down here?
Sure. They can come down.
Bring him down here and then let them talk alone a few minutes. You live at home?
Yeah, I'm staying at my mother's house.
Have you noticed anything about your brother?
Nothing that would indicate anything like this. I mean, there's no actual reason for it.
Here he is, 15 years old, 6 feet tall, 190 pounds, accompanied by an officer.
What happened?
You don't know yourself, really. You don't know yourself. You're just going to throw rocks through the window?
Where did you go after the movies?
I started walking home.
How come you were so late from the movies?
Well, I was so late. It was about 12, but yeah.
The way you're acting, somebody think you're under narcotics. Are you groggy from something?
No.
I've been up almost 15 hours on the clock. I'm sitting there watching that bed of yours. I'm not groggy. I can account for every minute. What happened to you?
I don't know.
You know what this means to you and to me, don't you?
Yeah.
What does it mean to me?
He was going to get messed up again. Why did you think of that before you threw the rock? You had 4 blocks to go. You would have been home. You had to stop on the way.
You want to talk to him alone?
You mind if we do?
No, it's okay. Why don't you step right outside? Shut the door there. Come on. Regular examination.
After having a few moments alone with the boy, he has been returned to his cell. And again, the mother and brother are talking with Sergeant Perkins.
A lengthy psychiatric examination and try to find out what's back of it. We're primarily interested in the boy and getting him squared away, getting him straightened out. He's just lucky tonight that he wasn't shot. If he'd gotten away with this, why, maybe tomorrow night he'd try something else. Somewhere along the line, somebody was going to get hurt.
I don't know what to say.
The only thing we know about the boy is the last 3 hours.
I don't think we know much more.
We can't get deeper into him anymore. I stood out there and he didn't say one word. So, I don't know. Somewhere something is wrong.
You have been listening to an actual capture and interrogation of a young juvenile suspect charged with burglary. And now back to police headquarters and Chief W.N. Hildebrand.
Tonight's case of the juvenile burglar is very unique because it allowed you to follow the action from the very inception of the call. Although this case may be more or less routine as far as the records go, the important thing was the apprehension of this boy and the instigation of corrective measures. My department is cooperating in bringing you Nightwatch because we believe by bringing into the open such cases as you heard tonight, we may help to deter some youngsters throughout the country who are taking the same chances and have not yet been caught. If we succeed in just reaching a few of them, then our efforts will be well rewarded in bringing you Nightwatch.
Thank you, Chief Hildebrand. You have just heard on-the-scene reports of your police force in action. Every voice, every sound has been real. Nightwatch, brought to you through the cooperation of your police department of Culver City, California, is produced by Sterling Tracy and Jim Hadlock, with technical advice by Sergeant Ron Perkins, and described in the field by police recorder Don Reed.
It's 4:30 a.m., and we've just pulled into the police garage after taking the mother and brother of the suspect home. Well, I don't know how you feel about it, but, brother, I've had it. I'm with you. You know, Sergeant, I can't help but think of that boy tonight. His mother breaking into that gas station.
Yeah, but that isn't all he broke tonight. Let me have a cigarette, will you?
Yeah, sure. Here you are.
Control 1 to 50, are you still in service?
50-1, we're just checking in now.
Roger, 50, 4:36 a.m., end of night watch.
9:30 Eastern Time on Monday, May 3rd, 1954, Night Watch here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now we'll step back to 1947 as we close out tonight's show with an episode of Gangbusters.
The sound you hear is a recording of the warning siren in case of an imminent nuclear attack.
If this was an actual attack warning, would you be prepared?
Would your family be prepared?
If not, CA Survive All Civil Defense approved steel and concrete basement type fallout shelter.
The shelter, along with a basic equipment kit, affords you and your family maximum protection.
Survive All shelters are FHA approved.
No money down. 5 years to pay.
Horrible though it may be, this sound may someday become a reality.
Be prepared. See a survival shelter today.
And we'll wrap up today's show with an episode of Gangbusters going back 78 years, May 3rd, 1947.
And now, Gangbusters! Gangbusters, presented in cooperation with police and federal law enforcement departments throughout the United States. The only national program that brings you authentic police case histories.
Of the Three Safecrackers, who were schooled in their trade by a master criminal, and how alert detectives practically read their minds from what they knew of a man who had been dead 10 years.
And now to Gangbusters and facts that show the operation of our law enforcement officials in their war against the underworld. Gangbusters has asked John J. Sullivan, former Deputy Police Commissioner and Chief of Detectives, New York City, to narrate by proxy tonight's case.
The inside facts in the case of the Three Safecrackers.
Chief Sullivan, I know the case you're going to tell our Gangbusters listeners about tonight will furnish unusual proof of the work of one of the country's most colorful teams of detectives, New York City's Safe and Loft Squad.
It will, Don Gardner. If you and your listeners will bear 2 facts in mind. First, in burglary cases, it's extremely difficult for the police to get evidence for conviction. And second, the surest way is to know what's going to happen before it does happen.
Before it happens?
Yes, Don. I'll show you one way it was done. This case began on a bleak, overcast day last January at the huge Calvary Cemetery on Long Island. A lone man kneeled at one of the graves, unmindful of the young priest a few feet away.
It's been a long time, Pete, but I haven't gone back on you. I want to be all you were. If you don't mind, more. I always looked up to you, Pete, and I still respect you. I've got the same kind of ideas you had. Oh. Well, hello, Father.
Can I assist you in your prayers, my son?
No, thanks, Father. It's not what you'd call prayers. Besides, I was just leaving. Bye, Father.
Goodbye, my son.
Thanks anyway. Next time, maybe.
Well. Hello, Father. Oh, Captain Hanson. Are you policemen always hiding in the trees?
Not always, Father. Sometimes we come out in the open.
And are you here on business?
No. I came out to visit the grave of an old friend.
But,
maybe it'll develop into business, Father.
You mean that Marner I just spoke with?
Yes. Strange seeing him here. I thought he was in Sing Sing.
Oh? And what makes you think that man should be in Sing Sing?
Because, Father, I sent him there.
Uh-huh. Well, if he's been released, no doubt he'll lead a good life.
I wouldn't count on it, Father.
You won't torment this man now because he came to the cemetery.
Oh, of course not. I'm just going to see at whose grave Freddie Russo came so far to pray.
Business?
Just curiosity.
Curiosity seems to be the main fault of policemen.
Also, Father, the main virtue.
Your man Russo is going out the gate.
Now, that's all right, Father. If I want him, I can find him again.
Yes, I suppose you can. But here's the grave of his friend. Is your curiosity satisfied?
No, Father. Now, I'm more curious.
More curious? At the sight of this grave of a man 10 years dead? Why, Captain.
This is the grave of Big Pete Schneider, Father.
Indeed.
He died in Sing Sing. He was one of the most troublesome safecrackers I can remember.
And, he's still troublesome, Captain?
Yes, very troublesome. Big Pete Schneider had a twisted pride in his trade. He enjoyed passing his skill on to others. One of his pupils was Fred Russo.
Uh-huh.
And if Fred Russo came to the grave of his master for inspiration, he must be up to something.
I see. Well, give my best to the boys at headquarters.
I will, Father. And goodbye.
Vera. Vera.
The dinner's on the kitchen table. Go eat it.
What's the matter? Can't you get your nose out of that magazine and give me dinner?
You get here on time and I'll eat with you. If you come late, you help yourself. Where you been?
Busy.
You didn't go to work today.
I don't want you spying on me, Vera.
Who has to spy on you? I can tell by the look on your push you didn't go to work.
Okay, I was out in Long Island seeing an old friend.
Now listen to me, Fred. You stay out of trouble.
Will you lay off?
You'll be heading back up to Sing Sing. All right for you. They give you 3 meals a day up there, but what am I supposed to do? Go out scrubbing floors or something?
I told you to lay off.
Now that you're out, you ought to have sense enough to stay out. Big dreams you got. Always big dreams. You got a good job. You're making good money. Play it straight. You might like it.
What do you care where the dough comes from, as long as it's dough?
Come on, I'll give you something.
Wait a minute.
What?
I was out to see Big Pete.
Oh, so that's where.
Yeah.
Well, he's been dead for 10 years. Let him stay dead. He never did you any good. He never did anybody any good, not even himself.
He left a lot behind, Vera.
Trouble, that's all. Just trouble.
No ideas. They're right up here. Big Pete pounded them into my head one by one. Up there was an operator.
Yeah, and what did it get him? A Sing Sing funeral. And that's the same thing it'll get you.
It's going to get me $1 million.
All right, Fred, all right. I'm sick of arguing with you. You want to go back, go ahead. I don't care.
I'm not going back any place. I'm lining up a couple of guys. I'm going to teach them what Big Pete taught me.
Just leave me out of it, that's all.
Okay. Just ask me for something when the dough starts rolling.
I won't ask you for nothing. Yeah, I will ask you for something. Go get yourself killed. Then I can blow my head off and forget about you. That's what I asked you for. Come on in the kitchen.
Oh, baby.
I wish I could feed your brain instead of your belly.
Safe and Loft Squad, Captain Hansen.
Detective Clark, Captain.
Well?
The parole commission records show that Frederick Russo was released from Sing Sing October 1st after serving 11 years and 4 months.
Is he still reporting to the parole officer?
Yes, Captain. Once a month. He's been regular.
He would be. What's his address?
450 East 21st.
Yeah. East 21st. All right, Clark, come on back to the office.
Okay.
Sergeant Ryan.
Yes, Captain.
Come in here a minute.
Sure thing, Captain.
Clark got an address on Russo.
Oh, good.
Yeah, from the parole commission. Sit down. I don't know, Sergeant. Russo might be going square. But what was he doing out visiting Big Pete's grave? Maybe looking to knock the knobs off some more safes. And if that's so, he can't do it alone. Now, I want you to find out who he's got and what they're up to.
Yes, sir.
You've got yourself, Clark, Sanders, Burns, and Garnett. I want somebody on Russo every minute until we find out what's going through his mind. You got it?
We won't let him out of our sight, Captain.
Wait till Clark comes in, Sergeant, and then get going.
Okay.
And remember one thing. I want them caught in the act. No other way.
Come on, Fred, take me home, will you?
Will you sit still, Vera? I told you I gotta meet somebody.
Anybody you gotta meet in this joint ain't worth meeting. Now let's get out of here.
Go ahead, Vera. Go home if you want. I'm gonna stick here.
You gotta get up early tomorrow.
Early for what? If you're so worried, I'll put you in a... Oh, there they are.
Look, Fred, don't get into nothing, will you?
Go on home. I gotta see these guys.
Listen to me, will you?
So long. I'll see you later. Oh, excuse me. What? Oh, yeah, it's okay. Hello, guys.
Hiya, Russo. Sit down.
Well?
I'll buy you a deal, Russo.
Okay.
But you still got to sell Laviola here.
What's the matter with him?
Nothing, except I'm for sticking to my own knitting. You've been shooting off what an easy touch these safe jobs are. Well, that's something new to me. The way I hear, a safe job is the hardest trick to turn.
You just listen to me and we'll do all right.
What's the matter? I'm not doing all right now?
Wake up, will you, Laviola? What you call all right is buttons.
Okay, so it's buttons. But all them buttons are mine. They don't get cut 3 ways.
What are you worrying about a 3-way split for? This is big dough. More than you ever heard of.
Tell me, Russo, what makes you such an expert?
Did you ever hear of Big Pete Schneider?
Yeah, I heard of him. What are you, his first cousin?
Will you listen, Laviola? This is a good pitch.
Okay, Russo. What about Big Pete?
He was my professor in college. Everything he knew, I know. And I'll teach you what Big Pete taught me.
Tell me, did he teach you how to stay clear of the Safe and Love Squad?
Yeah, that was the first lesson. Case the job good. Take nothing but cash. And they can't lay a hand on you.
Yeah, unless they catch you red hot right on the job.
Well, who's looking to be jumped up in the act? That's an accident.
Yeah. Have you got anything lined up?
It's only Barrett.
I'm going home, Fred. You coming?
Well, stop talking about it and go ahead. I'll see you later.
Now, listen here. Oh, good night.
Yeah, nice dish there, Russo.
Talks too much.
You ever know one at that?
Let's get back to business, will you?
Yeah, what do you got lined up?
A loaded store, plus a couple of factories in the garment district.
And what do you count on taking out?
Plenty.
Well, what's plenty?
What are you worrying about, Laviola? If Russo says there'll be plenty, that's okay. It's okay for me, anyways.
All right, Russo. I'm in.
Good. Glad to have you. Let's have a drink on it, huh? Waiter! Waiter! Over here, huh?
Russo sat there with the girl for a while, Captain.
Yeah?
Then these other 2 came in and took a booth, Joe Pelletieri and Frank Lovejoy.
Mm-hmm.
Russo left the booth and joined them. They're still talking.
Okay, Sergeant. This looks like the mob. When they leave, one of you get with each of them. And stay with them.
So, Don, even as the criminals were organizing, New York detectives of the Safe and Loft Squad were aware of their activities and laid their plans to capture them in the act. But unexpected developments upset the best-laid plans.
Now back to Gangbusters. You were telling us, Chief Sullivan, how detectives of the New York City Police Department's Safe and Loft Squad had under surveillance a gang of criminals they knew were planning a series of large safe burglaries.
That's right, Don. And the assigned detectives, working in teams, trailed their suspects around the clock. Days went by, however, and the criminals failed to make a move. Then one night, Sergeant Ryan and Detective Clark followed Russo and one of his confederates, Joe, into a Bowery dive and watched them as they stood at the bar.
What do you say, Clark? Shall we get up close to him?
They're liable to make us, Sergeant.
Come on. It's worth a chance if we can overhear him. Okay. Get around on that side of him.
Right.
You guys gotta listen to me, Joe. I know what I'm doing.
Room in here, fella?
What? Yeah, plenty.
We have a glass of beer. Coming up.
You can't blame him, Rousseau. He's getting the edge. So am I. You've been waiting long enough.
Okay, we're ready to go.
When?
In a couple of days.
Oh, that's more like it.
First, we need a few things.
For instance, what?
Well, the stuff on this list here.
Hey, that's a lot of hardware.
We gotta get it.
Where's that beer?
We split the list up. Buy the stuff in hardware stores. One item in each store. Now, let's go find Leviolo.
I think I know where he is.
Drop some change in the bar, will you?
Yeah.
Come on. Now we get this stuff together. Now, the three of us go out and take a look.
Did you catch what they said, Sergeant?
Yeah, keep hot on them, Clark. I'm going to call Captain Hanson.
Hello?
Captain?
Yes?
Sergeant Ryan. I didn't wake you.
Oh, no, I just got in. What's up?
Clark and I caught part of a conversation between Russo and Joe. It's any day now.
Oh? What makes you so sure?
They're going out to buy burglar tools tomorrow. They're going to visit hardware stores.
Okay. Stay with them, Sergeant. I want enough evidence against those guys so they'll never get out. I want every storekeeper where they make a purchase to be able to identify whatever they bought without question.
Well, you want to buy that one?
I don't know.
Electric drills don't grow on trees, not yet. That and the other one you looked at are all I got.
Maybe it'll be okay.
It should be. It's guaranteed for all kinds of heavy duty.
You got plenty of bits?
Yeah, plenty. Make up your mind about the drill. I got to answer the phone.
Yeah.
Phone, customers, phone all around this place all day long. Larry's Hardware. Hello.
Don't say anything, Larry. Sergeant Ryan, Safe and Loft Squad.
Oh, hello.
That guy in your store looking at the electric drill. Sell it to him.
Yeah, but...
Sell it to him, Larry, even if you gotta cut the price.
Okay, if you say so, but, well, this business I don't understand.
Just be sure you can identify it later.
Okay.
And the guy, too. Make a note of the serial numbers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but now I understand.
Okay, Larry. Be around to see you later.
Oh, come in, Sergeant.
Well, Captain, looks like tonight's the night. They got enough burglar tools to crack Fort Knox.
And you can trace them?
Right back to the stores where they bought them.
Good work. And what do you make it for tonight?
Well, they got two places all cased out.
Mm-hmm.
A clothing store at 26th on Broadway.
Yeah.
And the loft building on West 27th.
Which one do you think they'll try first?
It's a toss-up, Captain.
Well, I'd lay my money on the clothing store. They probably figure they'll have less trouble with the safe. And maybe get more cash.
Okay.
But keep the other place covered.
It will be.
I told you, Ryan, I want them hands down. And that's the way we're going to get them. The two of us are going to plant ourselves inside that clothing store and wait for them. We're giving the district attorney an open and shut case on this one.
Well, looks pretty good from where I'm sitting.
Now, let's not be too sure, Sergeant. This is a funny business. Anything can happen to queer the works.
Fred.
Yeah? What do you want?
Come in the kitchen a minute, will you? Oh, these things.
Yeah? What do you want, Vera?
Open up this jar for me, will you?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, where are you going all dressed up?
Out?
Out? Supper's almost ready.
That's too bad. I'm eating with the boys. Here's your job.
I don't want you around those boys, Fred. They're nothing but trouble.
Who's living my life, me or you?
Well, you're not doing very well at it.
Look, baby, tonight's the big night. I'll eat with you tomorrow night.
You're not leaving this house.
So long.
I said you're not leaving.
Hey.
You're not leaving.
Put down that knife.
I'll kill you. I swear I will.
Cut it out now.
You're staying here.
You're looking for trouble, Vera.
I've had nothing but trouble since I first laid eyes on you.
Now, wait a minute, baby. Fun's fun. Put that knife down.
I'm going to put an end to my trouble right now.
Vera.
Right now.
You dirty little...
Go me, Fred.
You're trying to kill me, huh?
Fred. Fred. See?
I told you to lay off. Serves you right. So long.
What time is it, Captain?
11:15.
Do you think they're coming?
Who knows?
certainly hope they don't try the loft building first, Captain. I want to be in on the collar.
Don't worry, Sergeant. Oh. They're working on the back door.
Yeah.
Come on. Quiet now.
I wonder if the men outside spotted them.
I'm sure they did. We'll wait till they get inside and start working on the safe. Then we'll nab them.
Right.
Shh. Come on. A little closer. Careful.
Work at it, guys. Work at it.
We're trying.
This is the first time I wanted burglars to get into a building.
This door won't budge.
Got to. Give it all you got. Come on, get it. All right, again. Okay, hold it.
What now?
Oh, leave it lay. Let's get out of here.
Hey, but boss.
We can't crash the door. Let's go. Get the stuff together.
What do you say, Captain? Shall I give the signal to grab them?
No, let them go. I want more than an attempt charge against these guys. We'll get them on their next one.
Now back to Gangbusters.
Russo, Big Pete Schneider would sure be ashamed of you now.
I would expect a burglar-proof door.
Anybody but Russo.
Lay off, will you, Laviola?
Big Pete must be turning
That's
over.
enough. Take a right here, Joe.
Yeah, Russo.
We still got the loft building. We clean it out. We get 50 grand.
Yeah, if they got no burglar-proof door.
Let me worry about that. Just do like I tell you.
Captain.
Hello, Clark.
They broke in the side door, Captain. Looks like they're on the third floor now.
Did they post any lookouts?
No, sir. We've got the whole block covered. Too bad you didn't get them down at the clothing store.
It doesn't make any difference, one place or the other.
Any orders, Captain?
Stick here and cover for us. They'll probably come out the way they went in. We'll get them as they walk out the door.
Yes, sir.
I'll be with Sergeant Ryan and the others.
So done, the safe and loft squad detectives had the 27th Street loft building surrounded, and they were waiting for the criminals to emerge by way of the door they had entered. Meanwhile, unaware of the carefully laid trap of the safe and loft squad detectives, the three burglars had completed their job and were about to leave the building.
Come on. Pick up that stuff.
Yeah, Russo, yeah.
Get it all. I don't want nothing laying around. Give the cops a break.
Yeah, I guess that's all of it. I'll carry the tin box.
You mind the tools, Laviola. I'll take care of the box. Get that Jimmy there.
Where?
There.
Oh, I see it.
All right, come on. Drop it in the bag.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get out downstairs.
See, Laviola, didn't I tell you, huh? Didn't I tell you?
Oh, tell me again when we're home in bed.
Okay. Hold it here. Now, we'll get on the freight elevator and go out the way we came in.
I don't like that elevator this time of night.
What's the matter? We came up in it, didn't we?
I don't like it, that's all. Why can't we walk down? It's only 3 floors.
Because the fire doors and the stairs might be bugged, that's why. I don't want to hit any burglar alarms after we got this far. Get on that elevator.
Why do you have to argue so much, Laviola? Nothing's ever right for you.
Oh, shut up.
All right, Joe. Take it down.
Yeah. Here we go. Hey, Russo, what do you say we put the stuff away and go out and celebrate, huh?
Yeah, you guys celebrate if you want. I gotta go look in on Vera.
Yeah, what's the matter? Ain't she feeling good?
Got a pain in the jaw.
There we are, straight floor.
Wait a minute.
What now?
Look, we can play it a lot safer.
What do you mean?
Joe, take the elevator to the top.
We're crying out loud.
We'll
Why?
go up to the roof, over to the next building, and come down that way.
Yeah, but Russo, that means breaking through another couple of doors.
I don't want anybody to run into us coming out of here. That's a lesson from Big Pete.
Don't be a dope. We're here on the ground floor. The street's 10 yards away. We walk right out. There's nothing to it.
Take her up to the top, Joe.
That silly boy.
You heard what I said?
Well, do it without me. I'm going out the way I came in. That's safe enough.
Yeah, Russo, there ain't no sense to it. Somebody could see us coming out of there, too.
Okay. Open up. We'll go out this way.
Sure. All clear.
Let's go.
Hey, grab some of this stuff, will you?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Now right out the door and walk away like you own the joint. No rushing, no running. Now, you got it?
Yeah.
Good. Hold it here. I'll take a look in the alley. Okay. Nice and dark. and all clear. Let's go.
Wait.
Head for the car.
Russo.
Hey,
cops, get him up.
Yeah, okay.
Not me. So long. Get him. Oh. I got him, Captain. No, you don't stop. Let's shoot.
All right, just keep him up.
Who squealed?
Nobody had to squeal, Russo. We've been right on top of you for 2 weeks. We could have nailed you any time, but we waited until we had you good. Now let's get moving.
So, Don, that was how one gang of burglars fared at the hands of the New York City Police Department's Safe and Loft Squad. They're all back in the penitentiary.
It was a real illustration of fine detective work, Chief Sullivan.
Yes, and I think the men of the New York City Safe and Loft Squad deserve congratulations for their mighty good job.
They certainly do, Chief Sullivan. And Gangbusters, thanks to you for telling us this factual case history.
And that brings us to a close with an episode of Gangbusters 78 years ago, May 3rd, 1947, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit our webpage at classicradio.stream. See us tomorrow for more drama right here on Classic Radio Theater. I'm Wyatt Cox.